30, and I'm bringing you another one of my podcasters. This time around, the podcast is named PlayStation is Bigger Than E3. And today, guys, I have the best panels right now, the best box in the building. We have Mr. 100. Let them know where they can reach you at, 100. You already know the deal.
What's up with y'all? Y'all can reach me on this fucking 405 freeway, bumper to bumper. That's where y'all can reach me at.
Yeah, boy. We also have the notorious E-Rock in the building today.
Hey, what's going on, guys? This is E-Rock X, Don King of Xbox. I ain't did this shit so long, I forgot all the stuff I used to say. The Don King of Xbox, the hype man of bread and cheese. I don't know. What's going on, everybody?
Yo, what's good, man? It's good to have you back on the show, E-Rocks. You've been
Hey,
gone for a little while, you know?
it's good to talk to you too, fam. It's good to talk to y'all guys.
Yeah, man. And we do have the Puerto Rican brother that everybody wants to kill on Twitter. Yo,
Vaya, señoras y señores. It's He-Bot. I'm back.
What's
What's
going
up?
on, guys? Just here. You can find me everywhere where there's hate, where they're lashing people, throwing rocks. That's where I'm at.
yeah, well, guys, straight to the show, guys, man. The title says it all. PlayStation is bigger than E3, man. And I just want to say like this, Hunter and E-Rock and Bot, today's the day, man, where we set this straight because PlayStation is not bigger than E3. And I'm gonna fall back. I'll let y'all handle this light work because we got a lot of these PlayStation extremists out there. They are out there deflecting, damage controlling, all kind of things. Hunter, what you think about that, man? With this PlayStation, is bigger than E3, man.
But PlayStation not bigger than E3, for one. Uh, for two is I forgot who said that some damn journalist saying even the punk ass dude from CNET talking about E3 people ain't being at E3. I've been at E3 for the last few years. It been packed. You got people waiting outside. Why the tickets sell out?
Wow.
You know, people enjoying themselves. Don't matter what your game on. People was over there enjoying themselves. It's like people say it's the mecca of gaming. I call it the granddaddy of them all. It's like the Rose Bowl.
Mm-hmm.
But
AKA the Super
but
Bowl, baby.
no, PlayStation ain't that. PlayStation don't run. It's not all. It don't run everything. And last year was pretty cool when PlayStation wasn't there because the spot that they usually occupy, shit, it was more people to get show love, more indie games, more PC games, people with their their peripherals. It was man, you know, it was still packed as hell. Even on Thursday, people don't understand. I played the Oculus Rift for the first time. That's why the Oculus Quest for the first time. I waited in line with Megatron and 108 Dragons for about 2 to 3 hours just to play,
Woo! That's a
just to
long
play
time.
for 5 minutes. And that's a Thursday. And usually Thursdays is the getaway day. That's when people got to go back home, got to go back to work. Cause see, the party really start on Saturday. That's when people have these little private parties and whatever. Then Sundays, that's when the conventions come in. And then Monday, you might get a convention come in or somebody have something. Then other than that, Tuesday, that's when it crack. So I heard the people talking about this. What the dude said some the most ignorant, ironic shit that I heard. He's talking about the people wasn't in the food places. The year before, the food places was there. They're gone because it's big ass hotels there now.
Oh,
You got LA Live. So I don't know where they get that. I don't know where they get that logic from. Like I say, they don't talk logical anymore.
hmm.
But these is people, and a lot of these damn journalists are butthurt because it's YouTubers like me that go to E3 and can get exclusive content, can talk to these developers and build a friendship with them. That's what they mad about.
Okay.
And I can go on my YouTube channel and I can report it.
You know,
That's why they say E3 is irrelevant.
mm, it's not irrelevant. I'm gonna tell you
So,
why.
you know what I'm
Honey,
saying?
you
They catch
experienced
hell for that
E3.
one.
For people out there listening to the show and just tuning in, Hunnit's been out there. Hunnit's been to E3s. He's letting you know from his perspective on what he sees out there. This man just said he waited 2 to 3 hours with K Mega and 108 Dragon out there online.
Yeah, 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 we waiting in line to play Oculus Quest. And I wouldn't have an Oculus Quest if I didn't have that experience because I wasn't a really super person in VR. I messed around and asked them, could I buy it that day? They said I had to wait. I pre-ordered on Amazon. It took me about 4 months after it came out just to get one.
Dang.
But I got that experience with the E3. I met Hip Hop Gamer, cool dude. I met a couple of PlayStation guys, cool dudes.
Hmm.
PC
That's
guys, cool dudes. Because the console war don't, when you there ain't no such thing as no console war.
it's all about
And a
game.
lot of these, yeah, and a lot of these old big bad motherfuckers think nah, they turn soft.
You
They
know how
turn
it is.
soft.
It's like this, honey. It's like this. It's all show because it's a YouTube channel and everything. It's to keep their subscribers out there. You know how it is. And then when you meet face to face, you see a big difference. You understand?
Yeah,
Their
like when I met
tones.
Hip Hop Gamer, cool. I didn't know the dude even knew who I was.
Well, look, at least hip hop gamer
He over here paying
knows
homage
who
to
you
me.
are.
I said, you paying homage to me. I said, shit. No, he was like, man, I know y'all be putting in work. I'm like, appreciate you want a drink? I'm starting up a tab. That's how I was loved.
That's
It
what's
was
up,
this
bro.
game was having fun, but all these people sitting there thinking that E3 is dead. No. And well, Microsoft is not in the convention because what you see their conference and that
Yeah.
stage, you get on that stage. That's what all the games is. They turn that into that, and they let someone else have a bigger spot. But you got an E3 pass, you get in there right there. So it's the convention center. It's two halls, two big ass halls. Then you got the Staples Center. Then you got LA. Matter of fact, it's not even LA Live no more. It's called Xbox Live now.
Oh shit. I mean, excuse my
Yeah,
friend.
that's what it's called. Yeah, so that's what it's called. And then the Microsoft Theater right there. So it's like it's one. So it's not like you got to go walk 5 miles. They're right there. It's like bang, bang, bang.
Yeah.
And the person that they own all three of the buildings. So that really is that's what really is. But
Mm.
Microsoft showed, to me, Microsoft showed love. Shout out to Ninja Theory to let us, photo, what I'm saying, they didn't even know us like that. And we built a friendship with Ninja Theory,
That's cool,
and I
man.
said, man, you new
Bro,
game, man, we promote the shit out of it.
you
We
gotta
don't, I didn't have no journalist credentials. Just a regular talking shit YouTuber.
but you know what, honey?
They making sure you got water, you want sodas.
Yeah, those
Microsoft
developers
doing
look
that. They
out,
making sure,
letting y'all get, play their games and actually talking to y'all, not treating you bad. That's what's dope about that. That a lot of people got to understand that they interact with y'all. You know, understand? So you getting to meet these people, and that's something that a lot of people can't say they did, honey. And you got to do it. The people that made Hellblade, that little team or whatever, you met actually those people. So that's what's up, honey. Well, E-Rock, let me know. Oh, I think we lost. Oh, we lost Hunnit. But E-Rock, man, you want to shine in on this?
What's going on this week? Eric, fill me in.
All right, I'm gonna fill you in, E-Rock. On Twitter, it was a big thing, man. It was a rumor that PlayStation actually is they're not showing up for E3, the second year in a row. They saying it's bigger. They bigger than E3. You understand? You got these fanboys deflecting and everything, trying to downplay E3, and you got the media actually doing the same thing.
Hey man, wow.
Mm-hmm.
Since I talked to you last, I mean, and it's good to talk to you again, Ghost. We haven't talked in a long while.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I've kind of I've been following gaming and entertainment for a long while before this YouTube thing, man. And if it's been one constant since 2013,
Yeah,
is that the fandom and I'm gonna answer the question.
yeah.
The fandom, whether you agree with the fans or not, the fandom on every side, whether it be movies, whether it be gaming, it's gotten more and more divisive. It's gotten more and more toxic. And the older I get, man, I'll be 51 in April, man. I really don't want to deal with it no more.
That's a blessing.
I really don't want to deal with it no more. Like I don't even mess with Twitter like that. I don't even be on Twitter. I mean I think my Twitter account is still up, but I'm either locked out of it or I lock myself out of it. It's a blessing. It's a blessing because I don't be involved in all them arguments, ghosts, because I don't care no more. And what I mean by I don't care no more, I'm not saying I don't care about gaming. I don't care about people's opinions no more. Like how clean is this show? Well, we'll keep it PG. Well, I don't know what this app is, but I'm surprised it worked. It looks like Google Hangouts has been knocked out the box. We ain't had no good connections yet. Uh,
Oh, this
uh,
app, hey, E-Rock, this app works well because we got to pay for it. That's why.
Yeah, we pay for it.
okay, okay. I see. That explains everything. That explains everything. Okay, so
I see how
I'll
it
try.
worked. Beautiful, right? You see that?
Oh, okay, okay. Well, I better wake up and try to do a good job seeing how y'all paying for this shit. Um,
Yeah,
I try to stay disconnected with it, man. Social media is a cesspool. It's a cesspool ran by fandoms, and people are corporate slaves whether they want to admit it or not. They'll call you a corporate slave, but they're not a corporate slave. And I see it in almost every walk of life, from the media, man, from IGN, from these bloggers, whether they blogging about movies, or whether it be from fanboys of PlayStation or like just the last couple of days, the extreme Marvel fanboys was pissed because Joker got 11 Academy Award nominations and won the Golden Globe. They was pissed because the Flash from the DCEU that they said was dead, the Flash made an appearance on Crisis on Infinite Earths. Okay, so they oh, that's corny, that's bullshit. So it's like, this whole PlayStation thing, man. I don't find anything shocking. I don't find anything shocking that they do. I don't find anything shocking that the media or the fanboys try to twist. All of a sudden, Sony can't make it to E3. It's a good thing. That's what they want. It's a good thing. It, uh, uh, it's a good thing that Marvel's TV shows was canceled. It's a good thing that Sony's going to miss E3. And you know what, dude? I'm sick of it. I don't want to take part in it no more because you can't talk to these idiot ass fucking fans. You can't talk to them. There's no getting through to them. Like, like that's unthinkable that all of a sudden y'all saying Sony is bigger than E3. How the fuck is a brand bigger than E3? E3 been around since like the late 80s or the early 90s. E3 was always the Super Bowl of gaming. It was
yeah.
always the Super Bowl of gaming. That's where you showed your wares. That's where the industry showed their new games, their new hardware. Uh, that's where, as Mr. 100 is letting us know, the industry insiders and the game platform holders actually talk and communicate to the public. So for Sony to sit and say, and for the media to spin it like, well, we're bigger than E3, it just shows a further disconnect between the Sony brand and gamers. It shows a further disconnect between them and the culture, whether they people want to admit it or not.
I
Dude,
feel like that.
I have no desire to talk to a Jabari Clark or to talk to a Porter Rock. The fuck am I wasting my time talking to y'all assholes for? All y'all gonna do is cheerlead Sony no matter what they do. If Microsoft had to skip
One
E3,
of them got exposed. One of them got exposed because he don't even have a PlayStation 4 Pro. I ain't gonna mention his name, Porter Rock.
wow, probably Porter Rock. Um, um, if Microsoft if Microsoft had a missed E3, it'd have been, oh, Microsoft is done. Microsoft is finished. Microsoft is finished. If all the DC shows had got canceled, which they haven't, oh, DC is done. See, they can't do shit right. Guys, aren't y'all tired of this shit? You gotta be tired of it. You look, Ghost, me and you ain't talked in a while. You got to be tired of this shit. You
Yeah,
gotta be 40, you gotta be 40 something, kid. If I'm 50, you gotta be 40 something. You got to be
I,
tired of
I'm
this
in my
shit.
I'm in my threes. I'm
Oh,
in
you
the
in three? All right,
30. I'm 37 though, and I'm tired of it. I'm tired of all. Look, but I mean, he rock. I'm just tired of all the hating, bro. Like they try to damage girl and deflect everything, bro. Like Sony can't do nothing wrong. Like everything that Sony do got to be and on a golden platter. Like they geniuses. Like stop it. Like let's be real here. Because if this was Microsoft, E-Rock, the media would be tearing Phil Spencer and them alive. You
no,
know,
yeah,
this is for the gaming. That you know what, E-Rock, I don't mean to cut you off, but what
no, no,
gets
no, no, just so.
a little shout outs to Graphic God too. You know, he stepped in the building, guys. He popped up, put him on the screen right here. He said, "What's up,
Is,
fam?" He
is
said,
people watching?
"Yeah,
Oh shit.
yeah."
Okay.
And the
Yeah,
thing,
this is
so
live. We
we
on
And you
live.
could,
YouTube.
and E-Rock, you can see what they say. So if they say
Yeah,
something stupid, you could get right
you can
on them.
see
You
it.
could get right on the screen.
I'll put it on the
Man,
screen, put it on blast.
I got. Don't worry, I got a big bag of hairy nuts for all of them. Don't even worry about it.
Yo, but E-Rock, the only thing that bothered me was like this is when you see how Hunter said you can interact with the developers. This is where
Yeah,
gaming is gaming. Like Microsoft, even though it wasn't the biggest thing last year, but at least they went and they spent the money and at least gave back to their fan base.
they know what
You
E3
understand me?
is.
Like, yeah, it's a fan base thing. These are multi-million dollar companies, bro. Sony's a
Hmm.
big company, and they don't have to be $1 trillion company, but Sony's a very big company. To not show up to E3 is a slap to their consumers' faces, and
They
they,
don't. They don't
but they
care.
don't see
They don't
that.
care. They don't care because goes.
Hmm.
Let me ask you a question.
Do your thing.
Why should you care when you've trained your fan base for the last 8 or 9 years that it's okay to not have backwards compatibility? Y'all don't need that. It's okay to not have a proper online service. It's okay to not have a Game Pass like game service. It's okay to just want single player games and for us not to branch out and explore any other avenues. And the media and their fans defend this. So when you train your audience to have a certain mindset, you feel so you don't have to have anything no more. You don't have to make any innovations. You don't have to show up to E3, which is unheard of because like you guys just said, basically E3 is fan service. E3 is not just to show their product. E3 is like 100 just said, man, for y'all guys who are lucky enough to live out in the West Coast, because I don't know when the hell E3 is ever coming to the East Coast. We got all these stadiums and Philly Philly didn't had a 500 million, probably $1 billion now convention center. Yo, coming to the East Coast, but like 100, he's about that shit. He been to E3. All these bulls on YouTube talk about E3. 100 been to E3. He's met these developers. He probably met Phil Spencer and all of them. That lends confidence in a company when you can interact with them, touch all that. It's like tactile. You can touch them, talk to them, touch the games and stuff. Sony not being there is kind of like a fuck you to the PlayStation audience. But they too stupid to see that, dog. They too dumb to see that. So why should you wake them up? Let them sleep. Let them sleep, Hebot.
Yeah, man. I feel like just for them saying that, they gotta hold that L. Like Microsoft is trying. You know what's the excuse? That Sony ain't got to show up because they got games like God of War, these bangers, and I'm like, hold on, man.
That's
Like,
last year. That's last year, homie.
yeah, but this is the same thing.
What have
Like,
you done for me lately?
exactly, bro. Like, but yeah, E-Rock, I gotta give it to my brother. Before I go, like me and you gonna shine in on this. Yo, Hebot, you in on it? You ready to let us know how you feel about this?
Yeah, yeah. As long as you guys can hear me.
Yeah, yeah, of course we can hear you, my brother. Go ahead, take over. But before we start, Hebot, I just want to give a shout out to Shinyu Elite. You know what I mean? He's out there in the comments section and other Zinc. And for everybody that that's watching and whoever comes on later on and watches our show, don't forget to hit that like button and share this out right now, guys, so you can share it out, man, and we can get more people in here so we can get their thoughts. Because we in the room right now, you can ask us questions and we could give you our opinions on things. For other Zinc, man, I want to give him a shout out. He said, however, I've been gaming longer than everyone. My passion will never stop for true great games. Yo, we respect that, my brother. You a gamer, and I tip my hat off to you. We all gamers at the end of the day, and it's a hobby for all of us. But Hebot, let us know how you feel, my brother.
Well, I mean, I'm gonna segue into the topic, but I'm gonna segue pointing out points that each of you distinguished gentlemen brought up. And I'll start with 100. 100, how he explained how a lot of things have changed. Uh, that in the venues of E3. Now we got to get this clear. 100 lives out there in LA, right? So 100 knows what the premise is, what's going on. I can't sit here living in the East Coast and argue something with 100 about what's going on as far as changes because I don't live in in the East Coast. So if 100 tells me something, I'm going to take his word for it because he lives out there. And a lot of people don't seem to understand that 100 lives in the East Coast. So if he says something, you could probably take his word to the bank without worries because he is part of that, ecosystem over there. He lives over there. He goes out there. He sees a lot of different, celebrations and events from sports all the way down to E3, right? To hit his point. So when people say, "Oh, he don't know what the fuck he's talking about," you need to understand that 100 lives there, so he sees it with his own eyes. He knows what's going on hands on, right? Even if he just went to two E3s, it's more than many of us has done, right?
Yes.
So that's a factor that we can't argue because unless you're there every year, no matter where you're from, you can't argue with someone that's been there and that lives there. To 100's point. Then to get to what E-Rock said to one of his points is that he's saying how the PlayStation fan base, right? They just, take whatever they got, say it, and just because they've been trained to think in a certain way. But the reason for that is because on the PlayStation community, whether people want to accept it or believe it or not, it's the community with the most casual gamers. What do I mean by casual gamers? That most of the people there are just the newbies that come in, bought consoles, played consoles, right? And they played those consoles because it's the popular console, right? Because it's like the iPhone. Everybody talks about iPhone is the most selling phone. So PlayStation, this generation, right, in particular, was the most popular console. It was the leading platform. So you see people that don't even speak the language that come from other countries. They come here, buy a PlayStation to feel fit, like they need to fit in because they think that's the new hotness and don't really understand the real meaning of the differences of what these companies are delivering in their hardware, in their brand, and to not realize that, you're getting more on one side than the other side, even though you think you on the side that makes the most money, right? Or that's delivering, right? So that's to E-Rock's point. The reason why a lot of them are trained this way is because they are the most casual market out there. Okay, when you see the market for Nintendo or Xbox, it's still mostly based off the hardcore gamers that have been gaming as far back as the Atari, the Odyssey, the ColecoVision, the Intellivision. You understand? So that's why the mindset between Nintendo guys and Xbox guys and Sony guys is so divisive. It's the same thing with movies. Now, most people go watch a movie because it makes all this money in the theater. Oh, a movie must be good. They go see it, and they don't even know what the fuck they're watching. They never read a comic book. They've never been into cinema. They have no idea who people like Henry Bogart is, how cinema started. Yep. So, all that stuff is what trends because we have this thing called social media. So now with social media, everybody has a voice. The casuals, the lames, the trolls, and then the hardcores, right? The people that respect the art form, the people that respect the culture. Yeah.
Not to cut you off.
No.
I just made a quote today. I invented it myself. You know what the biggest problem, the biggest mistake social media made?
Yeah.
Social media's biggest mistake has been that it made everyone feel that their opinions was more important than facts.
Right. Absolutely. Absolutely. And it's sad. It's a travesty in reality when you look at it because they're slowly but surely destroying the essence and the spirit of different mediums like video games, like pop culture, like cinema, and they don't even see it. And you know what I'm saying? And the worst part about it is that these other outlets that are professionals, like IGN, for example, right? They're the biggest platform for video games as far as being professional, considered professional.
They feeding into this
In
nonsense.
order for them to survive, they got to create clickbait. And how do they
Mhm.
create clickbait? By saying everything they want to hear and hating on what they want to hate because they know the people are going to follow. You see what I'm saying? So to also get to a point that Ghost was saying that you brought up is you were talking about how that you get tired how they keep doing the hate, but the hate comes because of, again, the casuals, because there's more casuals on the Sony side than there is on any other brand and any other side. Okay, because if you really inform yourself, everybody knows that one of the main reasons why Sony is in that position where they're doing what they're doing is because they're having a lot of problems economically with money, right? That's one of the biggest main reasons which they want to deflect, because even their PR talks a lot of dumb shit. Now, my thoughts on it is E3 was created for publications and outlets, right? For stores to see what products are coming out from these companies, in this case, video games, to know what's coming out for the fall and the future, and so they can get ready to know what they want to put on their store shelves to sell, what's worth carrying, what's a risk, what's not worth carrying, and things of that nature. But when E3 kept stemming away and kept growing, and as it grew bigger, it became part of the public, meaning the fan base, right? So the fans have become a big part of that ecosystem of E3. Now, E3 is the biggest show of any show in video
The Super
games
Bowl.
for gaming, right? It's like a Super Bowl, exactly. And every year, the attendance grows and grows. Now, the highest it's ever been, because of the building size, I'm assuming, it's been about 70,000 people, right, in attendance.
Yeah,
Last year,
I think it
last
did.
year, what's up? Go ahead,
I think
Bo.
it did 66. The only thing that beats it is Gamescom. And think about it, Gamescom is a bigger venue and it's open to the public.
Yes,
Think
it's
about
open completely to
it's
the
open.
entire
You can
public.
walk
Yes,
on in. You don't have to go sign up, and
yes,
you don't have to
yes.
pay any money.
That's
You have
right.
to pay money to get in E3, and it's not a cheap ticket.
Right. That's exactly what I was going to get to, too, 100. That E3 is also something that is still within certain parameters. You could get in there, but you have to have some type of connection with media or influencing in certain types of sub count when you're on YouTube. You can't just walk in and get in there. It opens up to the public, but the tickets are very expensive, as opposed to something like Gamescom, like 100 said. It's something that's a lot more flexible for the audience. Plus, it's probably the only venue that they have in the UK for video games, so everybody flocks to it. Here in the States, there are several amounts of shows, not as big as E3, but other places they can go to and do different things, like a PAX East, for example. Okay, and that's the difference, and that's why you see a higher audience count. But just to put it into perspective, last year it was 66,000 people in attendance, right? Which means there's only a 4,000, 3,000 difference in attendance last year from the highest attendance count from maybe 2015, let's say, right? So it shows you that it's still very valuable. People still go to it and people still want it.
And they
We got
do that number without Sony being there.
right, and they do those numbers
Woo!
without Sony even being there. So most likely the people that didn't show up were a big part of the Sony fan base, right? Because they had no choice. The way they saw it was, well, Sony's not going to be there. There's no point in me taking the flight out there because I don't really care and I don't really have interest on Microsoft or Nintendo, let's say, right? But the difference between Nintendo and Sony is when Nintendo stopped attending E3, they said very clear and very openly why. They said, we're not going back because we lost a lot of money when we got the Wii and the Wii U out to the market. Because even though the Wii U sold more, it was the highest selling console of all time for Nintendo, and second, I think, to the PS2, right? The software didn't sell, so they didn't make enough money because the console was still weak, so they couldn't put all the multiplats on it. And then with the Wii U, a lot of people didn't migrate over because it just didn't offer more than what the Wii was offering, right?
They
It's
crying
just,
about money?
huh?
Nintendo's crying about money?
Well, no, at the time when they said that we
Oh.
were going to change our direction, and what they decided to do was Nintendo Directs, they
had,
said what?
they had no, they had E3. They have booths at E3.
Oh
Just to
yeah,
play
but
the
I'm
new
talking
damn
about doing.
Pokemon game.
I'm talking about doing
Yeah, they don't do.
I'm talking about doing a keynote
Yeah, they don't.
presentation. Yeah, they
Yeah,
said.
they don't want to.
Nintendo
They don't.
still has a presence at
Yeah,
E3,
that
guys.
saves them
Right,
money.
Nintendo
right.
still has a
But
presence.
Yeah,
but
Shout out
that
to
saves
other
them
thing
money.
for that.
Well, I wouldn't want to do a keynote presentation either. If all you got to present is cardboard fishing rods
Yeah,
and
but see,
5-year-old
well,
toys,
that was
shit that came out in
that was the
2010,
yeah,
I
but
wouldn't want to do it
them
either.
presentations.
that was the point that I was trying to get
Yeah,
to.
but some of the
Nintendo,
presentations, them are.
when you do an hour and a half presentation, you have to have you have to have games on the stage, right? And if you guys notice, every time that Nintendo does a direct, it could be all about just small little really reveals, little small titles, or they'll direct it, they'll dedicate the entire show to just one game, like Pokemon, right? Like 100 just said. So if you go to the E3 and do a keynote, you can't just show Pokemon the whole E3 show. It's impossible. Nintendo had to heal and had to make up for their losses because of the Wii and the Wii U. So even now to this point, they've only really released like 5 in-house exclusives that are only available on the Switch, because they had announced, for example, Bayonetta 3, we still haven't seen it. They had announced Metroid 4, that got delayed, we haven't seen it. They announced No More Heroes 2, they haven't shown it. So when Microsoft's going to the stage, they're able to show not only their stuff, independent stuff, and their partnerships with third parties.
And new
E3,
IPs.
huh?
And new IPs.
And new IPs, right? So
Heaven forbid Nintendo shows a new IP
right,
Hey, guys.
right.
this century.
Yeah. So when it comes to the Microsoft being there in the keynote, it's reflective of the situation within the company. Okay, and then Sony for 2 years showed the same games over and over again. The last time they were in E3, they only showed 3 games, 3. And they moved the audience from one room to another to give them the illusion that it was a spectacle, right?
They was inside the tent.
Right, because they had no other games to show. And it was games that they showed 2 years prior, right? So, and when they did that, everybody was like, oh, they're amazing. That looks amazing. But I remember when Microsoft talked about Crackdown in 2015 and it didn't come out to 2018, they were like, oh, they need to stop pushing it back. This is bullshit. Like, they gave them nothing but flack. Like, oh, that means the game is shit. That means it's this. That means it's that. When they were completely transparent the entire time. E3 is about the culture. It's about the developers. It's about the fans. It is the biggest venue of community in gaming. And that's why it's so important to continue that legacy, because without E3, we won't have that exposure to all these smaller companies and developers to be able to showcase their games on the showroom floor with the big 3, which is Nintendo, Sony, or Microsoft, right? And these guys are forgetting to remember that. Because when Sony does a private venue to show off PS5, it's private. It's with media and just the people within the industry. No fan can really be there and touch the hardware, experience the hardware, see what it's going to be like. Unlike, and shout outs to 108 Dragons, Lemon, he said that the other day. Once they show off these games in E3, like Microsoft, for example, more than likely you'll be able to try out these games on the Xbox One, Series X, right? Or the Xbox Series X on the showroom floor. People are going to be able to preview it. And that is where you create that hype and that engagement for the release of these upcoming consoles. You can't tell me that in the history of releases of new generational consoles, that is the most exciting thing in gaming in general, period. So you can't tell me that the fan base don't add to that hype, especially when they go and they see it and experience it. Of course they do.
Hey,
So
Ebot,
Sony now, yeah,
I'm sorry to cut you off, man. I know you want to roll, but you mean to tell me that when they unveil the PS5, that Porter Rock and Jabari won't be there? I
no,
thought they had a direct line to Yoshida.
they
They
have
not
no
gonna be
option. They don't
Wow.
have no option. Listen, Yoshida ain't even running PlayStation no more. He's doing the indie department.
They got hit with a code.
Yeah, E-Rock, you missed it. Yoshida dropped, son. He dropped down in ranks. They
Yeah,
Oh
lost.
man.
wow!
They
got
lost
that
Sean.
motherfucker
Was it Sean Layton guys? They lost. They
No,
lost.
no,
That's
the
Sean
guy.
Layton, right? Who
The
was it?
guy running PlayStation right now is the developer and head creator of Guerrilla Games, the guys who did Horizon Zero Dawn, right? But it's just like when they made the announcement of the MLB being renewed with the Sony company, which was 989 Studios when they first started on PlayStation 1, which is now known as, well, I forgot the name of their sports studio, that their MLB series is coming to Xbox and Nintendo next year.
That was a hurt piece.
Okay. Now, why do you think that is? Because the MLB said, listen, you can't pay us enough money to make enough revenue off your system only. So we'll let your developer make the game and you can make a profit and percentage off the game, but you have to do it under one condition. You got to bring it to the Xbox and the Switch because the audience over there is growing and it's too big to be ignored. We need baseball games everywhere. Okay? And that's why they did it, so that Sony can make money off of them. The same way it makes sense that if PlayStation start putting their games like Horizon and let's say Death Stranding on PC, it's because they're trying to probably start to sell their engine, their like for example their Decima engine, so other people can use it to make games, so they can make money off it. The same way Epic leases their Unreal Engine to all these developers to make their games, because Sony's in a position where they don't have the purse they used to have back in 1985, 84, where they were a $900 billion company back then, right? And today they're worth like 37 billion, 42 billion, as opposed to Microsoft. It's $1 trillion company, right? So we gotta, yeah.
I'm gonna say this. I know I get a lot of people saying they're like, well, the cost and all this. Well, Microsoft don't have to pay for that building. Microsoft do not own the
Exactly.
Microsoft Theater. AEG owns that. They paid to put their name on the bad boy. It's a sponsorship, just like the Staples. And the Staples do not own that building.
Right.
It's
right.
AEG. It's a guy that owns, I think 10 or 12% of the Lakers. That was part of the deal.
Right.
Wow.
It's kind of 100. It's kind of like when Sony uses a lot of mocap technology in their games. The reason why Sony games have that in most of their games is because Sony's a movie house. So they have their own mocap studio. So for them to use mocap is a lot cheaper than somebody like Microsoft that has to go to another company like they did with Blur when they did the mocap cutscenes for Halo Wars 2, and they had to pay $1 million for each cutscene, right? That's a lot of money. So Sony saves that in their pocket, right? It's the same mentality with the Staples Center and with the Xbox Center. It's a sponsorship, so they probably pay like maybe a quarter of what they had to pay if they were inside the E3 building, and then they could dedicate all the money to the presentation, to the developers, and whoever they bring on stage. You know what I mean? Like they did with Keanu Reeves. They brought him over, they paid him, and that was hype when they announced that he was going to be in Cyberpunk, right? So again, the point of E3 is to create excitement and engagement. So anybody that's claiming I'm a hardcore gamer, but I don't care that Sony's going there, you're frauding yourself. You're not being honest, because Sony came out with their PR after the ESA said, well, we'll continue to grow. E3 is not going to go nowhere. It's going to be bigger and better than before, no matter who shows up. And then Sony came out and said, oh, no, we don't feel that it's the right place for our console. We're going to be in hundreds of other places. Hundreds of other places? What hundreds of other places? There's not 100 game shows that are big at all.
They're going to Paris Games.
Oh.
Games coffee shop.
That's right. The three biggest shows is E3, Gamescom, and the Tokyo Game Show. And we all know the Tokyo Game Show died a long time ago, because that used to be just as big as E3 back in the day.
That was number two. It was E3.
That's right.
So Gamescom, I don't even think that was even thought of.
That's right.
That was the E3 of the East.
That's right. That's right.
Everybody should show up to Tokyo Game Show.
That's right.
Other Zinc put up, guys. He said at 100 Intro Media Gaming, Microsoft still doesn't pay what others pay to rent that building.
That's right. That's right. He's right. Other Sync is right. They still pay the big dollars, but they could afford to because they're making capital.
Because you don't pay to rent the building, you still got to set up that stage. You got to
sit
there with your presentation. That presentation ain't the same thing all the time. And it's not a big building. That's the craziest thing. It's not super big. So, that's what, and then especially when you got FanFest now, nobody talks about that. Sony trying to do something you pay for. FanFest, you get exotic stuff, and Mega joined FanFest for the first time.
Mm-hmm. And remember,
joined FanFest for the first time last year.
And remember, 100, Microsoft made it a point to create XO again. They said, we're going to bring back XO. So not only are they at Gamescom, not only do they go to Tokyo, not only do they do other venues like PAX, and Microsoft is all over the place. They're all over the place. But what do they say every time? We're here for the fans. Because without the fans, Xbox is nothing. Okay?
Exactly.
They made it very clear. And it's the same way, whether Sony says it or not, with Sony's fan base. Without Sony's fan base, Sony is nothing. PlayStation as a brand is nothing. So you can damage control all you want and say it doesn't mean shit. They don't need to be there. You're only fooling yourself. Because again, if E3 ceases to exist, gaming as a whole is going to start to die down, because there's not going to be no other way to really encapsulate that community connection with any other venue. Even if they do Nintendo Directs or PlayStation State of Play, those State of Plays are garbage. They are terrible.
Rip off of Nintendo Direct.
Yeah, so, like the Nintendo Directs, they'd be okay, but they're still not the same level as when Nintendo with Reggie Fils-Aimé used to get on stage and do keynotes. It's still not on the same caliber. The hype is not the same. They watch it, all these YouTubers stream it. Oh, yeah, let's watch it. And now the YouTubers are the ones that try to make it seem like, oh, this is great. This is big. Why? Because you don't have to get out and spend money? No. The whole point of it is that you go and experience the magic hands-on. And that you meet the people within the community, that you establish connections. That's how when 100 went and other people that we know went in the community. That's how they were able to create and set up interviews with developers. That's how they were able to get free, games to test out and preview them before other people, so that they can give back their feedback and all types of stuff. It creates connection with the developers, the influencers in YouTube, the community, and your fellow fellow gamers on the other side, which would be Nintendo and Sony in this case. So the disrespect of saying, like somebody like Jez Gordon, for example, and I don't call out names, you guys know I don't, but he pissed me off because I saw a comment that somebody retweeted that he said Nintendo and Sony are bigger than E3. They don't need to be there. And this is a guy that works for Windows Central. Okay? For Windows Central. This is a guy that's the representative of Microsoft in one of their outlets. And he's saying they're bigger. Like, Microsoft is shit. Are you fucking retarded? How are you going to say some shit like that if Xbox is the only company that's giving back to the gaming world, developers, and the community? That's why I really loved when Phil elegantly put up a tweet right after Sony made the announcement that they weren't going, right? Of saying, we are getting ourselves ready, very excited, looking forward to E3. We're going to make it bigger and better than we try every year for our fans. And the key word that Phil put in there was, he said, our fans, showing the respect to the fan community that made Xbox what it is today and what makes Xbox every year, year on end, when we buy their console, buy their games, and support their services and whatever else they give us. We got options, okay? Options. And the level of disrespect is at an all-time high because
It
the
is.
gaming community is full of a bunch of casual frauds.
Hey, who is this Jess Corton dude?
The one that
Anybody listening? Y'all can
Windows
tell him
Central
wherever
did.
y'all can tell him wherever he is. The E-Rock X called him a fucking idiot, and I mean easy guy to find. You can find me on Instagram. You can
Well,
find me
I ain't been Windows Central.
on YouTube.
yeah,
Just,
yeah,
just,
Jess Corton.
he's the guy who does the podcast with Randall Thor.
Yeah, well,
Okay?
guess what?
Hold
Yeah.
Jess
on, hold
Corton.
on, guys. I got it right here. It says other Zinc says Jez Corton doesn't work for Microsoft.
Yeah, yeah,
They just
I know
call
he doesn't.
themselves Windows
But
Central.
Windows Central is a company, is an outlet that gets info from Microsoft directly, and they give them what you call it, privileges, right? They give them privileges.
first
So
look.
even though they get those privileges, they're acting like it's that Microsoft's not important. How are you going to say Microsoft's not bigger than E3 before you say Sony and Nintendo? If Microsoft is the only reason why the gaming community keeps evolving, keeps having evolution, and keeps expanding, they're the ones making the most money.
He bought.
Nobody
Yeah,
else is
but,
making money.
All these guys.
but just like I said
I
earlier,
wanna, yeah.
yeah, just like I said earlier, people like me, you, or something, we
Mm-hmm.
have the what you call it? We have the access to these people now.
Right.
Before,
Right.
back in the day, we didn't have access. No one
That's
really
right.
wouldn't talk to you. They wouldn't want to talk to you. You know what I'm saying, and stuff like that. Now you
Yeah.
got a regular joker get access to a person, and see their access is getting taken away. You know what I'm saying? They have to do stuff. They have to a lot of this stuff. I don't believe. I don't think they believe that they stuff. They need the clicks. They need you to go hit their website. They need to get that ad.
Exactly.
That. You know what I'm saying? That Google AdSense money. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? That
Right.
ad revenue. I don't believe that they believe what they believe, but that's what they need
Right.
to do.
Right.
And see,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
when
Yeah.
you took some away from them, like when gaming YouTubers took something away from them, they're pissed.
Right.
They're
Right.
pissed. What's that nigga Jeff Bacular? I want to slap the dog shit out of him. He always hates on Microsoft. That's why I clicked on. Now I think he ready to block me because every time he do a show on CNET and he talks about this, he's talking about how yeah, it's only it's not that many too many people. You've been about to 10 E3s. You should be tired of going to E3.
Right. Right. Right.
You've been to 10 E3s. So you should be cool with it, but don't downplay it. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And then he was like, oh, this and that. I'm like, Jeff, it's every time Microsoft do something good, you'll say something good and then you go left. But we ain't saw what Sony didn't gonna bring. Sony
Right.
might have a show before the show. The question wasn't that. We didn't ask you for that. You know
Jay,
what I'm saying? But
Jay
you know,
Dizzle said the best,
I'm gonna
honey.
say,
Jay Dizzle just said it the best. I got him on screen. He said the only thing that's dead is Sony's E3 conference this year. He said it the best. Well, I'm gonna tell you like this, guys. I'm gonna give my input, and I'm gonna tell you like this. E3 is meant to show. This is it, guys. This E3 will be dope because you get to see what the Xbox X look like, the Series X. And you can see the PlayStation 5, man. Like, what are people doing? You want to really stay there and stream it and watch it at home, or you want to go out there and, for those who go out there and get your hands on that product and see what you're investing in and what are you buying? You understand? Like, but for your dudes out there, there's PlayStation and streamers and all that, that Sony can't do no wrong. You're hurting the gaming.
They're hurting themselves.
Not only that, what if Microsoft does this? Follows suit.
Oh no!
Out. Now you got to understand this, Eva. A lot of big companies do things like that. If Microsoft, let's just say Microsoft follows suit on this, we lose out on the E3.
How about all the people that can't make it out to the shows that participate by being on the social media apps, watching it live,
Yeah, like
That takes away from us as well, so we can't be part of it.
this is
That's why I said it creates engagement with the community.
yes.
That's why it's so important. Even though these dum-dums are trying to act like, oh, we don't need it. No, you don't need it, motherfucker. We need it. The real hardcore gamers. Are you fucking retarded? You know what I'm saying? And the developers, especially independent developers, they need it. How are they going to showcase all their fucking games if it's not through the big three, Nintendo, Sony, or Xbox? That's why I said on Twitter the other day, if that's the case, if Sony and Nintendo is bigger than E3, then you know what? All the multiplats should just go to Xbox and be exclusive. They shouldn't even be on Nintendo PS4 or 5 or on Nintendo Switch, because why should the developers bother to put it on those platforms if the companies are bigger than them? Everybody knows multiplats are the biggest selling games, period. It's not exclusives anymore. So how are you going to tell me that the multiplats are not the ones that got to drive the force of gaming forward through the consoles that they're shown off on? You fucking sound stupid. Of course it is. Multiplats sell the most. So Red Dead is not shown on Sony's show floor or Xbox show floor. Where they're going to show it? Not everybody has money like Bethesda and like Activision that they could do something for Call of Duty, or they could do something for, let's say, I don't know, Morrowind or Elder Scroll, whatever. Those companies and Ubisoft, they're the big powerhouse. They have the money, they can do that. But other companies don't have that ease of access. They don't have that capital. How do they get to reach their fans or the community? Through Microsoft, through Sony, through Nintendo's presentations. Okay, let's keep it fucking real. It's their presentations that create the hype for those games.
Yeah, gaming.
Okay?
I just want the gaming to be like, be there. I don't want to lose out on the hobby that we have, guys, and these big companies start doing this. Like we watching shows and shit, like streaming or watching just to see what we're gonna get. It's good to see that people like y'all that's out there hunting and the megas and everybody out there that's actually going out there video recording things. Maybe one day me and he about to go out there, or E-Rock, we all show up, we all get that experience. But guys,
oh, I'm sorry. I think another thing, like we all know that E3 isn't irrelevant, but I will say this much, and I've been maintaining this for a while now. Yeah, E3 is huge. Gamers from around the world go there. You got people definitely just holding it down on the West Coast that can get there. But I think one of the things that's been hurting E3 over the last 10 years is that they will not do different venues and different locations. I think that one year E3 should do LA. I think that one year E3 should do Chicago, because that's the biggest, most Midwest city. And I think that one year E3 should do either Manhattan, Philadelphia, Washington, or Miami. You can't just stay in LA. I'm not knocking LA. I love LA.
E-Rock. The only reason they did leave the convention center one year, and they did it in a small hotel, and the gaming world went to shit. Only person that was invited was like IGN and all this other stuff. It was kind of like a cocktail party.
PlayStation Extremists was there.
They got ripped a new asshole. So they said, okay, we going back to our old way. The one reason they said they like it out there because it's the weather. It's doing the weather right there. People want to go this way, and then they help out with people like you got PAX. PAX is a little small E3. You know what I'm saying? And think about them companies do be there. But they saying that it's just like you see a Super Bowl. The Super Bowl, how many small cold places they've been, and they don't get a good turnout. I'll be sitting there like, why isn't it in Miami all the damn time?
But 100, go ahead, E-Rock. Say what you're gonna say, because I was gonna say something too.
Well. I hear what 100 is saying, but every once in a while, the Super Bowl will come to Minnesota. See, they want you to build. They want you to build that domed facility. So if Philadelphia is going to compete in that arena, they got to tear down the Link, which they just built in 2002, and build a domed venue. Philadelphia is now building. I didn't even know what the fuck esports was. I didn't know Philadelphia is building an esports arena. because
Right.
that esports got so huge they had to. Like
Right.
Comic-Con, did y'all know that Comic-Con is bigger than E3?
Yeah.
Did y'all know the car show is bigger than E3? Did y'all
Absolutely.
know that the fucking tattoo convention is bigger than E3? Do you know
Yeah.
why? Because they switch venues.
Yeah. They go to
Well, what they call it?
You got to get
Fact,
everybody
you got
involved.
Comic Con,
Got a
you
good
got San
point.
Diego Comic Con, then you got New York Comic Con,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
you got like right now, you got PAX before E3 right now. What you this week? You got PAX South in Texas. A lot of
Mm-hmm.
people going. You know what I'm
I
saying?
just,
Go
I, I
there.
just think
A lot
for
of these
E3 to
deals,
stay viable,
E-Rock,
they
a
can't
lot of
stay in
these
LA.
deals too,
They got
E-Rock, I was told that they signed contracts with it. So they signed contracts with AEG. So we're going to use these buildings for 10
I got you.
years.
I got you. I got you.
Well,
Now,
I
if that
think also,
contract come
but
up, if that contract don't come up, they might sit there and say at the times, they might like, okay, now, you know what? Let's go see what in New York. What they
Oh
gonna
man,
have
I
over
would love
You know
that.
how many motherfuckers is in New York?
or
listen,
you know
How
but
many, you know how
Philadelphia.
many people were going to
That's
that shit to come to New York?
right, 100.
Yeah.
100. I want to add to what you said about the summer weather and stuff. Remember, it's the summertime, and to be honest, in the summertime, even especially in places like Philly and New York, there's good weather in the summertime. You see what I'm saying?
Fact.
So it's not, and not only that, it's the time of the year where most motherfuckers spend mad money and do mad shit.
He bought.
Mhm.
Here's the thing: if E3 was to come to New York or
Oh,
to Philly, that's called the Northeast Corridor. It's not just Philly and New York. It's Boston. It's Washington. It's
right.
Baltimore.
About that.
Everybody coming to that shit.
Hell yeah, bro. Hell yeah, guys. But also, man, you know, there's this big thing on Twitter, man. These ponies, these Sony fanboys and the streamers are going crazy, all because Horizon Zero Dawn might be going to PC, man. I don't know. I don't know what's going on here, but they losing their shits. What do you
I know
guys?
what's going on.
What do you guys got to say about that? Because if this is true, did they lose another exclusive? They were talking about no PlayStation games going to PC, man. Like I
I
don't
know
know,
what's going on.
but what the hell's going on here?
If y'all had a book Horizon Zero Dawn instead of just buying Spider-Man, if y'all had a book Horizon Zero Dawn, if y'all had actually bought God of War, if y'all had actually been buying MLB's show, these games wouldn't be going to PC and going multi-platform. See, y'all gave Microsoft unlimited and unaccountable amounts of shit because Microsoft did their internal numbers about 5 years ago and said, you know what? It's great having exclusives and all of that, but we also own this platform called Windows, and we can increase our revenue by putting our games on Windows and on PC. So right away, everybody had a fit. Everybody had a fit. One of the most famous fits was when Quantum Break went to PC. And a famous YouTuber called Crap Gamer had his little explosion, and Microsoft embarrassed him in public, in like a public tweet. And so ever since then, that dude been on the warpath with Microsoft. Like, like you can trace the moments when these guys became Sony ponies. Same thing was I here. They're like jilted girlfriends. Microsoft wouldn't give them no love, and so now I hate y'all. Now I'm a rock with Sony now because Microsoft said no, we're not going to feed into your console war. We are a company. Exclusives do matter, but not as much as helping these developers recoup their revenue that they put into these games, all of this development cycle. So you got games like Horizon Zero Dawn made by Guerrilla Games or whoever the hell made it, and it only sells like what, maybe five. I'll be generous, maybe 6-7 million copies.
Well, real sales, because they sell by bundling them up and selling them at diminished returns for $20, and it creates a bigger number. But real profitable sales, E-Rock, you are absolutely right. It probably sold maybe 5 to 6 mil, maybe if that.
Sony saw those internal numbers that was coming out of Microsoft. They saw those numbers. What the?
I
Testing.
understand. It's only seeing numbers.
Oh, they saw those numbers, and they
That's
said,
E-Rod.
"Hey,
E-Rod.
we need to get in. We need to get in. We guys have made $2 billion in a fiscal quarter. You can't explain that to Sony fanboys because they don't know what quarterlies are. So Microsoft's revenue increased by putting their games on PC, by doing unheard of moves, by buying Mojang and saying, you know what? No. We're not going to take Minecraft off of PlayStation and Nintendo. Y'all can keep on having Minecraft. Just keep sending us that money. They saw Microsoft was making that money. They saw the sales from Game Pass. They saw the games from the revenue from games on PC, and they say, "Yo, we got to get on this bottom line." So let them have a fit. Let
Uh,
them have a fit. They're having a fit now, Ghost, because they got to eat crow. It's this nonstop cycle of why I got off Twitter of Sony fanboys talking shit, not having no facts, having to eat crow, and then spinning a new narrative because they don't like the taste of that crow. I don't know if you had crow, but it's kind of thick. It dry your throat out. It make niggas cough. So they got to eat that crow. So every time this happens, you're gonna see stuff like this. They said that Sony's games would never come to PC, and now thanks to PS Now, God of War is on PC. Soon, Horizon Zero Dawn is going to be on PC. Uncharted is on PC. Soon, their precious Spider-Man is going to be on PC. They're losing their arguments
yeah.
one by one. Resolution, 4K. They're losing power. You could forget that argument now because apparently Microsoft's releasing like this monster next year. This 12 terabyte monster. So it's pretty much nothing they don't have anything left goes except for sales. That's all they got left. So it's driving them nuts. That's why.
I, I see it like this too. The, the sales for Horizon Zero Dawn, it's so good. An echo feedback. Well, touching up, E-Rock. I want to tell you, Horizon Zero Dawn on the PC. I think they lose exclusives. They lost God of War. They lost Uncharted. Now Horizon Zero Dawn. Even if it goes, like I try to tell my younger cousin, even if the game goes to PC, bot, you got to fix your mic. Yeah, because we hearing the feedback. Hello? You guys can hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah, well, what I'm trying to say is this. I had my cousin and me did a show like last week, and I just wanted to break it down that, when their games go to PC, they lose their exclusives. When I would go to PC, Microsoft has a lot to do with Yeah, I'm hearing the feedback. Like back out and come back in. Yeah, thank you, Heba. Well, yeah, when Microsoft comes back, look, you hear me comes back. When Microsoft puts the games on PC, not all of them are on PC, but a lot of the games are on PC, it's still our exclusive because Microsoft has something to do with PC. The PC game is out there. Oh, no, you lose an exclusive. No, bro. At the end of the day, it's still Microsoft, regardless of what, man. They're gonna say Steam or whatever. Microsoft got stuff to do with the PC gaming.
Microsoft helping them out.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
And
they helping y'all broke ass niggas out by putting that shit on y'all on PC.
Exactly. But other people, I don't see PC as a console, bro. If it ain't on console. Now, you understand? Microsoft got something to do with PC, but what's Sony's excuse? You understand? Their games is on PC. They lose that exclusive. They lose it. That's how I feel.
How many games PC games that's on Xbox now?
It's a nice amount.
Path of Exile. That was a straight up PC game. It's a lot of PC games coming straight to Xbox.
Yeah, it's a two-way street.
Yeah, but You understand what I'm trying to say? On the PlayStation side, they use that against us. Oh yeah, the big thing.
Me?
Hello?
Yeah, you guys can hear me?
Yeah,
Y'all
perfect.
can hear me.
Hear you
All
perfect.
right.
Well,
All
bot,
right.
check this out. The big thing also about with these PlayStation fanboys and these YouTubers out there, they always want to bring up Xbox has no exclusives. You want to get a PC to play their games, bruh. If you a real console dude, you're not really trying to spend $1,000 to $2,000 $3,000 on a PC, bro, just to play games. We talking about consoles. You understand? That's
Well, I'll give you
who I'm.
my thoughts on what you asked me once you're done. I'll give.
hmm What I'm trying to say is Horizon Zero Dawn, they lost. If it does go to PC, regardless to what, even if it's there for a month, 2 to 3 months, and they take it out, if you can beat it on PC, they lost their exclusive. I thought none of their games was gonna go on PC, period, from these Sony
Mhm.
fanboys throughout the years. I mean, the deflection is real, guys. This damage
Mhm.
control is real, and it's gotta stop. Like it can't only just be Microsoft. And that's what I'm trying to say for y'all out there listening in, at the end of the day, our exclusives are still our exclusives. What do you got to say about PlayStation? PlayStation has nothing to do with PC. They got nothing to do with it. So when their
Mhm.
games go to PC, they automatically take that L. They got to
Mhm.
hold that L, man. And Horizon Zero Dawn, they lost that. If it's a rumor or not, if it shows up, and I could get on my PC right now with my controller and play that game, you lost your exclusive, bro. That's all I gotta say, man. And these on Twitter, yo, bro, they losing it because a game is going to PC, bro. I mean, I understand why they losing their exclusives to PC gamers out there. The
Did
man,
Iraq, did Iraq and Hundred already said their piece about it or no?
I
Yeah.
E-Rock said his. I said mine. Honey didn't say his yet. I don't know if Honey said his. Honey, you still there?
Oh, that
Here
Drake
we
kicked
go.
in, man. We lost
Here
him.
we
Yeah,
go.
no, they almost got me. Honey, if you there, my brother, shining on this Horizon Zero Dawn going to PC, bro.
Man,
They're gonna deflect it and say it's an old game and shit like that, but
they
still, at
can't
the end of the
deflect
day,
nothing. They can't deflect nothing because they always said, man, if I had a dollar every time them bastards went in my comment section saying Xbox ain't got no games, you
hmm
guys ain't got no games because
Yep.
exactly.
it goes to PC. Shut
Yep.
up, take L's.
Hold them L's,
You
man.
know, I'm giving out L's. That's why I put on Twitter that I'm giving out L's. I'm glad I was at the office because I would have stroke went live and start giving out L's. You know what I'm saying? They looking at Microsoft making money off of PC. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Microsoft don't even care giving Steam some cut and putting their stuff on Steam. You know, they didn't believe in crossplay. Now they want to play crossplay. It's like, man, they don't think about this is a business. Neither company don't give a fuck about your console war, to tell you the
A
truth.
100. A
Exactly.
100. Hey, yo, 100. How much you feel if you Iron Wolf, if you Titanfall Princess, if you Zaire, if you Crap Gamer, and knowing that your little rebellion against Microsoft meant jack shit? Because the motherfuckers are still making millions of dollars
Right,
and they
right,
coming out with
right.
more consoles. Remember, Xbox was dying. How does it feel to be wrong? How does it feel?
I hope that they might. Some of them might be on suicide watch. You know what I'm saying? I don't. I don't talk to the people. I don't know what they doing. I don't know. I don't watch their stuff. I don't know
All
what they doing
uh,
over there. I
making
get
a
people to
hundred
throw little something,
videos.
but I know they gonna come with some damage control.
Of
Oh yeah, this
course,
the damage control for the day is. I saw this I was at the office. I saw this. How y'all gonna be y'all over here praising a rumor? It ain't even official yet. Just
hmm
like I said, just like Sony wasn't going to E3. We knew that weeks ago.
Well, just like Heavenly Sword wasn't going, just like Detroit wasn't going, just like all these other
I know
stuff
a
that
bunch of
come
people
out.
bought Detroit on PC.
Were
Mm-hmm.
they playing Detroit already on PC?
Yeah, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
Detroit was on PC.
Damn, yo, the best exclusives
But they
went to
don't own. They don't
PC.
own. They don't own that company. That company left Sony. People don't understand Sony
Man,
They got
is
bought
going
out. They
through a
got bought out.
major
Yeah,
restructuring.
yeah, they got bought out.
you know,
Another
Even
sign
before Shine,
that Sony's hurting for money. Yeah.
yeah,
yo,
and
bot. You know what's crazy? What exclusives do they have?
Well,
Uh,
I
look.
don't
When
want to
uh,
start a
God of
debate.
War.
I
when
don't
you
want to start.
100, when you're finished, I'll chime in. I got a lot to say about that.
Yo,
But
man,
I'll
I
See,
don't
wait
they
till
got
want to
this.
start no war,
You know what
bro.
I'm
But
saying?
what exclusive the PlayStation has? If
They
that's
ain't got no
on
more
PC,
exclusives
bro. Yeah, at the
because
end
they
of the
know
day,
they
we
need that
lost
PC
sales,
money.
but the exclusive wise, we won because at the end of the day, we got a lot to do with PC, and they don't. So they lost their exclusives, and we still got ours, baby. The fuck out of here! Get the
You not,
fuck out of
you
here!
not.
Who the
Hey,
fuck is
Ghost, look
that
at this
guy?
comment. Look at this comment by this guy. Look at this comment here in the chat. Microsoft is a monopoly company, though. This spoken by some hammer nigger who probably got a subscription to Disney Plus. Get your ass out of here, man.
Oh
Man,
shit!
who ain't?
Oh,
Get your ass out of here.
I'm gonna break down this. He don't even know what a monopoly is because you can't really monopolize it anymore in the
man,
states
they
no
got
more.
at him, man.
I'm gonna get at you. You
Yo,
know what I'm saying? It's a lot of companies y'all know it's owned by the same person.
Yep. Yep. Hmm.
Guess why it's not a monopoly? Because they got them going in competition with each other.
Yeah.
When it was, I
monopolies,
don't know
man.
if y'all had Robinson's May. We had Robinson's May and Macy's and Bloomingdale's. They was owned by the same company.
Yo,
But as long as
whatever
they
your
go
name
against each other, as long as they fight against each other, it's not a monopoly.
is, yo, Gorla Legends. I don't know,
Mhm.
Gorla. I'm sorry,
You,
but my crew up here, they rugged and raw. I don't know if you try to mean it in a good way, but my boy just shot you down. I'm sorry about that. Tell you to
yeah,
get
you
out
can't
of
say
here.
that's what a monopoly. You can't
And this
That's why you see
podcast is big
T-Mobile.
shots.
You see T-Mobile trying to merge with Sprint. You see how hard it's for them to merge
Yep.
because they don't feel like y'all aren't finna monopolize the market.
Man,
Listen,
You
Now, if
don't.
you
you
want to
You,
call
can't.
you
got
somebody that monopolized the market, if you the closest people I can know
Sony.
in the tech that does that is Spectrum and Time Warner. They the same company, but they
Man,
monopolizing the market.
You don't think that Disney, hell, they showed you. They've been trying to monopolize entertainment, buying up everything. The only cats that's standing in their way is Warner Brothers. That's why I support them and Netflix vociferously. You don't think that Sony wants to have a monopoly over gaming? They've been
Yeah.
trying to get every
Yeah.
gaming company
That's
out
how
of
they.
this industry
That's how they
since
started. E-Rock.
1995.
The whole essence of Sony started as a monopoly because they had money and they bought out all the developers. That's how you had
They
Resident
played the
Evil
third party.
exclusive, GTA exclusive, Final Fantasy exclusive.
Grand
So
Theft Auto.
Grand Theft Auto, exactly. That's what I'm trying to say.
People understand. We didn't get Madden. We didn't get Madden until like that shitty ass Madden 20. Madden, you only could play Madden was on PlayStation.
What do you think? That's like when they bought out the MLB license and they can't buy it out no more. That's why now it has to be
You know what?
multi-plat.
See, thing about it,
So,
people don't know MLB. Guess who was knocking on that door? They was waiting for them to say no. 2K was
Sony,
knocking on that door. EA was ready to knock on that door.
Right, right.
PlayStation,
They was
PlayStation
right
said
there to say
years
no.
ago. PlayStation said years ago, Microsoft is a thorn in our side because they won't go away, and they ain't
Yeah,
never going. They ain't never going away. They ain't
yeah,
never
yeah.
And
going away.
and they,
Why would they? Why would they go away and let a Japanese interest who don't
Right.
do nothing for the gaming
Interest.
community run
Keyword.
an
Interest.
industry that we created here in the United States? Why?
Yeah.
and E-Rock, check this out though. You see what's their new PSN on the PS5? What's it gonna be on? Who servers?
Azure servers, Microsoft.
That's who own Microsoft. I told people Microsoft already knows what's in that PS5, and they were like, "No, you know, because because you're working on your PSN network, and I just give you the land, but you want to come to me because I'm your
They
tech
have
support.
to
This
know
is
what
my
the hardware is going to run. They
yeah.
have to know it.
So
Yeah.
I need to for me to help you. I need to know what you got. I mean, you know what I'm saying? I might need to know what you
So you
got.
think
So
Microsoft bought them out, that company, so they
no,
could
no,
catch
no.
Sony
What
out
you
there?
call it? No, Amazon hit
No,
them
no,
over
he
the
didn't.
head.
Mm-hmm.
Amazon hit them over the head. So then so Microsoft is sitting there like, you ready to dance with the devil? Microsoft was already helping Nintendo with their infrastructure, their network.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? But Sony had no choice because Amazon was like, you want to use our service? Come bring me some of that PlayStation 4 money that you sold that you quote unquote has. You know what I'm saying?
It's
So
amazing how these idiots is always on this kick that Microsoft is this, Microsoft is the devil, Microsoft is ruining gaming. Meanwhile, y'all Japanese overlords is over there sitting on stacks of cash and won't do shit for y'all. Yo, I digress. I digress from the conversation 100 because I cannot conversate with dumb motherfuckers. I'm sorry. I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it no more.
But see, I'm gonna put this. I'm gonna put this. Well, you know how I make it. You know how I make it without doing a day. I don't even talk to. I don't even talk to 85% of them.
Exactly.
They will tag me. They'll tag me this stuff, and I would just sit there. And I said the other night. I said I finally beat Call of Duty. What you beat it on, recruit? Why you give a flying? What I beat it on? But I didn't. If I would have applied, see, some of them need attention because they ain't getting on home. I guess their mama took them off that titty too early. So I ain't gonna give it to you. But if I do give it to you, I'm gonna give it to you hard. I'm gonna go for the throat. I'm going straight for the throat, the juggler. I ain't got time to play with y'all. And then when you hurt them, because see, I start hurting their soul. You know, they say, "Well, why you get this? Why you got a PlayStation? Because my money. Why you want about my money? I didn't ask you why you went to the strip club the other day."
That's like when you gave that kid, man. I'm sorry to say, man, when you gave him that prime time and he jumped in.
Yeah, but see,
you gave him that
I give you a bencher to jump in. You know, if you got common sense.
Yeah, and you gave him that chance, and he's just.
You know, but he been wanting to jump on prime time. He wanted to jump on prime time so bad. I said, you don't know. This is what I used to do. I don't like to do this type of stuff. I don't debate. You got to pay me. Pay me. I need $750 an hour. I put in too much work in these. I've been put too much work in these streets. So I don't take the what you call it like that character Hunter. When Hunter get off, Hunter going to be boning, and I'm just going to sit back, have me a drink, and play some video games and pop shit. I don't worry about go like you said. You said something good. You said you ain't really on Twitter. Like I'm not on Twitter. Only time I get on Twitter is like I said. I shoot out the podcast. Probably after 8:30, 9 o'clock. I'm not even on Twitter until tomorrow morning. And the only reason I'm doing that, you know what I'm saying? When I'm sitting there bored and I'm just scrolling, or I got TweetDeck on my thing because I'm just sitting there bored.
Right.
Like, I'm not sitting there going back and forth because that's what they want. You know, they want to go back and forth because they have no lives. They got engulfed with it. They got hit with the venom. You know what I'm saying? The symbiote didn't got them. And it's Xbox guys to do the same thing too. I see. When you go to the bed.
Don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. I'm gonna be honest. Like PlayStation might go somewhere else and show that the PlayStation 5 or
they want to have a show in February. They want to have a show in February.
And it's probably think about it, because if a logo, mad views and all of this, they probably, Sony do anything, they're gonna get a big hype. It's the hype train right now. So
it's the casual market, dude. And casuals are all paying attention. That's their console.
But let me tell you guys, this can hurt them.
Yeah, it goes.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say something that I was saving. You only going to hear this here on the Ghost podcast. This is the first time y'all hearing this. Y'all ain't hearing this from no place else, and only Hebot can back up my figures. This next generation is not make or break for Microsoft. Yep. Apparently, they had the billions of dollars I didn't even think this was possible. Apparently, they had the billions of dollars to research and develop a console that's that powerful, okay? This is not make or break for Microsoft. It's never going to be make or break for Nintendo because they got an audience of dummies that'll keep saving Princess Peach until they're 90 years old. This next generation is make or break for Sony. If the PS5 ain't a sales success, PlayStation is gone. Now check your figures and check your facts and see if I'm lying, because it took me a while to figure out that numbers of boxes sold does not mean financial success. Apparently now subscriptions and services are what's making money. So this is make or break for Sony. If this PS5 ain't a sales success, PlayStation is out of here. And I don't care what y'all call me. That'll be a good thing for me because I hate PlayStation. I hate their fan base. And to not have to deal with Jabari or Porter Rock or any of the morons again.
Well, ignorance in general. Thing. Yeah, ignorance in general. Yeah, absolutely.
You know what? I hear statements. See, I guess they know. See, I see stuff because other people retweet it from them. Like, even what you call it in Kumbaya with me. Even Jabari has Kumbaya with me. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, that whole group that smoked, and then found out one of their members was a pedophile.
Wow.
Right. Yeah.
But I didn't go back and talk about that. I didn't go back to. I said y'all came and attacked me. I didn't come attack y'all.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I'm gonna fight back. I got to put up the good fight. But I
Well, I
don't worry
mean,
about them.
there's a
They
way
get
to
up in the
do it,
morning worrying
like you
about
said,
us.
100. There's a way to do it, and I've kind of tried to use the model that 100 told me was you come in there, you sneak attack, leave, and let them gasping for you, because that's just gonna drive them crazy. And that's what I've been doing on Twitter. I don't get bothered no more. Now they don't even try to fuck with me. They'll just leave it alone. Like, damn, you
You
can't
said
get
something the other
mad.
day, what they all jumped in. We ignored. They jumped in so quick. Just
And then I left. I
he
did a
just saying
drive
it's a
by and
game
left.
or something. And nobody said nothing. He tagged uh uh E-Rock. He tagged about like 20 of us. None of us
Wow.
said nothing.
Yeah, yeah,
Wow.
yeah,
None of us. They came and tagged all of them. We didn't say
yeah,
nothing.
Wow.
And it went quiet. It went turned to straight ghost town. We started talking
yeah. They
about
got
something else.
mad. I did a drive by Iraq,
And
tagged them, and left.
then one dude gets mad. He said, "Man, Legal used to be my home, this and this." I said, "Man, that's between you and that grown man. I got nothing to do with that. What you telling me that for? What you telling me that for?"
Yeah, he
I
get
said,
people tight on
I
that.
hit him hard. Like, why you
Mhm.
telling me? I'm gonna give him a
That's
whooping or something.
funny. Yeah, I
Nah,
know
I'm
what you're talking about.
telling
Dude.
another grown man.
you know,
You know,
Honey, check this out. And E-Rock and He-Bot. You know what's also the talk of the town, bro? They talking about for this generation, the new one, the Series X, that what do Microsoft have? What games? And I'm like, wait, hold on. Didn't they announce Halo getting
Yeah.
worked
Well,
on? Like
well, Ghost,
it's for the Series X. Yeah.
real quick, before you get into that topic, let me say real quick what I wanted to say about Horizon, because I didn't even get to
Good
say
thing.
that.
Yeah, that's right.
Because I wanted to say something real quick. The reason, if this comes out to be true, right, like the way Detroit did, the reasoning for that is that's another sign, okay, that Sony's trying to venture out to find a way to make capital to keep the PlayStation brand alive. Because, like you said, Microsoft was born out of PC, right? Sony wasn't. Sony was born out of the TV, the Walkman, the VCR. You get what I'm saying? They were never born out of gaming and PC, period. Microsoft was born out of PC, right? But everybody that knows gaming to the bone, the way that we do, knows that PC has never been a worry to the console community,
Never.
because the PC market doesn't dictate gaming. It's the
Never.
console market. It's
Never.
the console market that dictates gaming and how it's going to move forward. Why? Because even though there's a smaller install base of consoles compared to PC, consoles is the easiest of access for anyone, from the hardcore to the casual. It will always be the first choice because it's the easiest. And when you walk into a Kmart or a Best Buy or a Circuit City or a Walmart or a Target, you're going to see consoles. You're not going to see a PC. Okay? Yeah, they sell laptops. Yeah, they don't, but they don't promote it selling games.
You're
It's
not going to see
consoles.
PCs for the same reason the Steam boxes failed.
That's
Too
right.
many SKUs, too
Mhm.
many models. People
That's
want
right.
one box.
That's right. So that tells you right there, people just want a console for gaming. They don't want a PC where they have to try to figure out every step of the way what needs to be done. Because for a person like me and 100 that are PC savvy, doing anything on PC is, let's say, easier, right? Let's say, as an example, right? But for the regular person, it is not. And it's a nuisance. And it's not something that they want to deal with, okay? Especially if they're not into it, right? So when you hear PC elitists say, oh, but the PC is the best place, yeah, that may be true to play the best performance, but that's because you're a PC elitist, meaning you love PC, you love the infrastructure, you love doing and dealing with it. That's not what everybody wants. They want to go home, sit on their couch, press a button on that controller, it turns on everything, and you're playing the game after it loads up. That's it. That is it.
he
And
rock.
that's why the main
Get the
focus right
PC as
now.
soon as get the PC as soon as bust the nut when Game Pass went to PC.
Yes,
And
and
they
Halo.
said, "Oh shit!
Halo, what did Halo do? What did Halo? What did Halo
Yes,
reach do? 100,
I saw
100,
so many PC dudes.
100. What did
They
Halo reach do? 100.
man,
It sold like hotcakes, right? How long we been playing Halo Reach? Since the
Man,
360?
man, they said, look, man, they got so many mods in Halo Reach on PC. You can
Mhm.
cripple wheel. You can shoot a
That's
motherfucker with your strudel. You know what I'm saying? They
listen.
didn't mod the shit out that damn game.
Yes,
And
sir.
Microsoft got
Holy
people modding
shit!
it.
He said you can shoot him with your strudel.
Look,
They
at the
didn't
end of
mod
the
the game.
day,
They didn't mod the shit out that game.
that's right.
You know, they
That's
got
right.
you. You can, you know what I'm saying? You
Dude,
can go play with something, but that's we just wanted the
E-Rock,
4K assets.
E-Rock hasn't been on Twitter, but E-Rock, the minute that Halo Reach hit PC, me and 100 were there, and Ghost is in there time to time, but you probably didn't see. All they talked about for almost 3 weeks was Halo Reach on PC. Even Phil tweeted out it was the highest selling game for that month.
Wow.
Okay?
Wow.
Everybody jumped on it. And a game that's been out since the 360.
Wow.
Okay?
Wow.
And the worst part about it is that the PC gamers just got Reach on Halo Master Chief Collection. They don't got
They haven't
access
got
to
the
all the
whole
other
Master
games.
Chief Collection. They got one game.
We, we the Xbox owners, we have the whole access to the entire series. Okay? In 4K with HDR at 60 frames. Okay?
That shows
That's
how
crazy.
starved PC
So,
owners are for content.
That's
well,
crazy.
exactly. The appetite is there. Why you think Borderlands sold 2 million copies on PC? Because it launched for the first time simultaneously on all consoles and platforms. Because the PC is a platform. Let's get it right. A console's a console. But I will go back to what I've always said. Console saved gaming. It wasn't PC. So the console space has to be bowed down by the PC community because without us, the PC would not be in the gaming structure that it is today because nobody buys PC for games. That's just an incentive. You could buy a PC right now with no graphic card that doesn't play games unless it's some bullshit game like solitaire or pool or card or poker. But you can't run big games like a Batman or like a Red Dead. Okay, you can buy a PC that doesn't play games. Can you buy a console that doesn't play games? No. A console is dedicated strictly for games. So, to end my point, Horizon Zero Dawn, if it comes to PC, is because Sony is trying to make money. And one of the things that I heard one of the guys at IGN said, which made sense, is the Decima engine is their engine. And since it's doing a lot of buzz in the industry with the two games that use this so far, do not be surprised if Sony starts to lease that engine of graphic engine to other developers to make games on it so they can make money off it like Epic does with the Unreal Engine. Okay? And like Crytek does with their Crytek engine. It's all business. If Sony wants to stay on respirator, breathing in this industry, okay? Because I'm with E-Rock. I really do feel if Sony doesn't do the big changes this generation, this is it for them. This is their last gen. They won't make it to this gen. This will be their last gen, and don't be surprised if you see them go software only. Okay? Because if they're going to rely only on console sales, you can forget about it. Consoles don't make them enough money. $11 or $18 per console for three until 3 or 4 years into the generation is not going to save the company. Not going to keep the windows open and lights open. Especially that they're losing money in the movie industry and they're losing money in the TV industry. They're losing money everywhere. That's why they're always on the red if you look at their stocks. Okay.
Like this, he bought somebody in the
So,
comment section just said he bought
mhm.
big facts, my brother.
Oh, thank you, thank you. Listen, it's not that we hate on the PC community because, to be honest, you never see the console community ever talk shit about the PC community. We don't do that. Well, they come at us. You bastards! You guys are cancer. You're fucking up the PC market, the best place to play, dude. The PC market didn't save gaming. It was consoles. Learn to accept and respect where gaming and the foundations of gaming came from and grew from. It started with Atari. They got negligence. They got greedy. They crashed. And if it wasn't for Nintendo coming in with the NES, lying to distributors saying that it was a toy, and people buying it, right, as what they
Mhm.
were selling it as, gaming would have never been at the forefront that it is now. Because gaming right now makes more money than any other medium in the world. Period. Okay, and it's because the console gamers that support it in our era to this point made gaming relevant. It made it where it's respected. Now the people that are the artists, the writers, the people that are the animators that create the programming are all getting the respect that they deserve for all these years because they used to look at it as, oh, that's just a toy to play with. They didn't look at it as a respectable artist medium. No, they didn't do that. Okay, that's why you see actors all flooding to be part in games and have a part in the game and do voice acting, and they even sell their likeness. Why? Because it's making money.
And furthermore, if the consoles weren't around, if it was up to if gaming had to survive off of the PC gamers, gaming would be gone because
Yeah.
y'all motherfuckers don't buy shit. Y'all
They don't buy
pirate
shit.
games.
They steal
Y'all
everything.
steal
Yeah.
shit. Y'all had to wait for Game Pass. Y'all had to
Or
wait
wait
for
on the
Game
Steam
Pass to
sale.
come.
But wait on the Steam sale.
Yeah, they
Oh,
don't
wait
buy
for the
shit.
Steam sale, right? And it's not that we're saying don't get it right, don't get it twisted. It's not that we're saying here in the panel, none of us, and I know I could speak for everyone because I know these guys very well. It's not that we're saying that the PC community, all of them steal and don't respect, no,
They
and
all
don't
do.
care. That's not what we're saying. But a big part of the community, that's why they're on PC because they want to get shit
I'm gonna
free.
keep it a buck.
Mhm.
I'm gonna keep it a buck. I didn't pirate so many goddamn PC games. I don't even care. I don't
Yeah.
give.
Come
I
on.
done it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna keep it a
Mhm.
buck. It didn't hurt my feelings because I barely play
They
on it like. So
they
Right.
yeah,
pirated
I
they
did a
pirated
Borderlands 2 before.
yeah.
My 360 went out. I had to go send it back. What you think I'm gonna finish playing it on? PC, pirated.
They
Right.
pi- they
I
pirate
didn't
these
care. It
games,
played with
get
my
the
Xbox
mods.
controller. That's all I needed.
Yeah,
Right.
they get the cheat codes. Then they get on YouTube like Black Bond and talk shit. Oh, you're having trouble with Cuphead. I said, yeah, dickhead, because I don't have a fucking cheat codes like you do on PC.
Yeah, right. Because we're playing it the way it was meant to be played with
Yeah,
skill. Exactly.
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie.
Look,
E-Rock
yeah,
been on the show and he been taking shots at everybody, son.
yeah.
Everybody.
And he
E-Rock,
don't be,
man, he taking shots at everybody.
Rock,
and he
I
keeps
hate
it
all
Like,
real.
of them.
oh,
I got you.
I hate all of them.
E-Rock can turn.
They all deserve to
E-Rock
eat a
E-Rock
did
dick.
can turn
bam,
to.
bam. He done shot everybody.
Listen,
Hey,
E-Rock,
E-Rock can turn.
E-Rock,
E-Rock can turn to what you call it. He didn't turn to Roy Jones. Y'all motherfuckers must have
yeah,
forgot.
Word, word, bro.
E-Rock is a man, man. He's gonna
E-Rock,
speak his mind. He's
E-Rock
not
said
gonna
this
hold
guy,
his tongue.
he called out the guy that oh man, that guy.
Listen, listen. You know what PlayStation fans should be doing right now? They should be happy because at least that game. Does that mean it's gonna go to Xbox and Nintendo? No, it's not. Horizon will still be a console exclusive. Keyword.
Exactly.
Console exclusive. It's still exclusive to that dedicated console. Okay? Be happy because that's just going to create revenue, even if it's just a little, but it's still more revenue for the PlayStation brand,
Hold
the
on,
Sony.
Ebot. I know you ain't just sugarcoat that. Fuck that. They lost their exclusive. I ain't trying to hear that shit,
No,
honey.
no, 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 no.
And
It's a
E-Rock,
fact.
all that shit they been
Listen,
doing to us,
I've been
I know
saying
you
this.
coming
I've
from,
been
but I'm
saying
gonna
this
tell you
since
like
the
this, my
X.
brother.
I've
Fuck
been
them
saying this
niggas, man.
since the Xbox shit. When a game on Xbox goes on PC, it does not mean that it's not exclusive to the console. It is still an exclusive to that console.
But remember,
Okay,
Ebot,
it
they don't
doesn't
have nothing to do
it
with
doesn't
PC.
reflect on
So they
us.
lose
You know
them.
what I mean?
They lose, yeah,
Huh?
they lose theirs. They lose their exclusives because I'm tired of
Yeah,
these
yeah, I
motherfuckers.
know.
I'm tired
You
of them.
need to run games on OS on a PC. That's true, and then usually
Uh-huh.
most
You can't
OS
run
are
on. You
Windows.
can't run on iOS. You can't run on
Yeah,
iOS. You can't run on
right.
Linux on them
That's right.
games.
You can't run iOS or Linux. It's got
Do
to
you
be
know why?
Windows.
Do you know
Hmm
why Hebot thinks like that? Hebot thinks like that because he's grown and
Yeah.
he's
hmm
intelligent. The way these PlayStation fans look at it, Hebot, they don't see Horizon Zero Dawn and God of War going to PC as helping PlayStation with revenue.
Yeah,
They
Nah,
right,
see
they
right,
it as
right.
not. They not.
they're
They not gonna do
losing
that. It's
something.
more money,
We're,
bro.
we're
E-Rock, it's
losing
funny that
something.
you said that. Right. Go ahead. Finish. I'll tell you after you finish.
We're losing something. We're losing ammunition to use against Hebot and 100 on Twitter.
Social
Yep.
media.
Yep. You're right.
That's
You're
what it
right.
is.
You're right.
Right.
I'm serious.
Listen,
Yo, E-Rock, you back, boy. You back. You back.
Did Crack Gamer not lose? Was y'all not here in 2015 when Crack Gamer lost his shit when Quantum Break went to PC?
yeah.
He
When
actually tweeted. He tweeted the Xbox dudes, and the Xbox dudes blocked his ass. They said, "Look,
yeah,
you know what, dude? We don't care if you've been supporting us all this time. We distancing ourselves from crazy motherfuckers like you and Zaire and who was that? What was that dude? Iron Wolf, who was
right.
actually friends with Phil Spencer, and Phil Spencer had to block him because of his
Yes.
crazy stalkerish, crazy nutty bullshit. So what did they do? Y'all not gonna fuck with me? Well, I'm gonna be a PlayStation fan then.
Right.
It's the height of
Which
childishness.
which 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 E-Rock, it kind of shows how much of how out of touch crap gamer, for example, really was, because Remedy started it from PC. That's where
Yo,
they
yo,
came from. They
yo,
were
boy,
a
you say these
PC
dudes, man, like they
developer.
Voldemort. Fuck these dudes.
Okay, all right. Hey, the same shit. Hang on, the same shit. Now I got on my own kind. The Xbox, to me, I got on my own kind. I
Mhm.
said, I said, y'all didn't want Quantum Break to go somewhere. You should have bought the motherfucker. And
Hell
then
yeah.
you
My
sit there,
dude.
y'all was sitting there
Yeah,
looking
yeah,
at
yeah.
digital fuckery, and that's Xbox
At
448. He made that
720p.
term.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
y'all fuck around and listen to them motherfuckers
That's
and said
right.
it was 720p and all this.
Hmm.
Soon that
100.
motherfucker went in the Game Pass.
Word
You
about
my
Oh
real,
dude.
my
right?
God, this is a
Word.
masterpiece.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I jumped on their ass. I said, all y'all motherfuckers, and y'all, no, say, I want these Japanese games. You better support these motherfuckers.
That's right. And look
Because I'm
about
gonna
look
get
at
on y'all too, like I get on the ponies. I'm gonna get on
100,
y'all too. It's a
100.
two-way street. I
That's
told them
right.
it's 2020. ABG. Anybody can get it.
That's right. But 100. Look, 100. Look what happened with Control. It went on all the consoles, right? The
Oh, they
main
love
ones, and
it.
nobody bought it, even though they were
Nobody
like, oh,
bought it.
it's gonna
That's
be
why it's gonna,
amazing. It
and
didn't
that's why
make
it's
no
gonna go to
money.
Game Pass.
That's
God,
right. It made
It's
no
on deck.
money, right?
It's on deck. It's
All
gonna
that
go to
talk.
Game
Oh
Pass.
yeah, if Remedy made games for PlayStation, it'll definitely sell more than Xbox. No, it
yo,
didn't.
guys, I would like to
No,
give
it
a
didn't.
big shout out to Mr. Kima for stopping by. Thank you, my brother.
Yes,
He
sir.
said
Yes,
run
sir.
on Windows DirectX 12. I put his tweet up. Also, I
Yeah.
want to give a shout out to Triple Cup Chuck. He
That's right.
stopped by.
Triple cup chop.
My boy Adam Bomb, he stopped by. And
Nice,
Mystic
nice.
7. You know what I mean? Mystic 7
That's
just
right.
said, yeah, shout outs to y'all. But yo, guys, man, I ain't gonna lie. I just gotta let these phonies know the Xbox is the best box.
It's stupid.
Nah, but also touching up on what Hunter said, man, it's the truth, man. Yo, when Control came out, the media
Hmm.
was talking good about it. These
Hmm.
PlayStation dudes wanted to play it. They was hyped.
It got
Mhm.
nominated in the
Yeah, it got
awards.
nominated in the awards. And guess what? It's not even, it's to me, it was just a DLC or
It's nowhere near on the level
break.
of Quantum Break.
It was
It's
like a
Quantum
part of
Break with a
Quantum Break.
glass.
It could have
It's
been,
Quantum
yeah,
Break with a. It's a palette swap. What
Yeah,
the
exactly.
yeah.
fuck is going
It's a
on?
palette
What is
swap.
with
Yeah,
this
yeah.
craziness?
That's what I
It's a
said.
palette
E-Rock,
swap.
it must have been the same game.
It's politically
You know what I
correct,
mean?
E-Rock.
It could have been
Politically
the
correct.
same game, bro.
It's
It could have been the
inclusive
same
now. It's
game, yeah, but
inclusive.
or DLC, bro. Like, what's
Well,
crazy
look,
about
Ghost.
it? And
E-Rock
these
says
people
something.
got nominated. It's crazy.
Ghost. E-Rock says something. I looked at one of IGN's videos today, right, to see their thoughts on, Horizon going to PC, just out of curiosity with my son. And they were like, look, it's an absolutely positive and wonderful thing that Sony puts their games on PC. It's forward thinking. It's great. Do y'all remember when Xbox announced that they were putting games on PC? And they were
Xbox
like,
is
"Oh,
doomed.
Xbox is dead. There's no reason to buy one. Just get a
Yep.
PC. What's the point?" But now that Sony has no choice, right? Because they got to make changes because things are changing. If not, they're going to stay behind. Now, oh, it's forward thinking. Now it's Sony's doing a great thing. You get what I'm trying to say? The hypocrisy. If you go back to them damn videos when Xbox was saying, "Oh yeah, we're going to do this, we're going to do that." Oh no, because Microsoft is doing that because their exclusives ain't selling. Microsoft is doing that because the Xbox brand is dead. Now it's different.
Uh,
Get the fuck out of here with that
That's
shit.
crazy.
Hunter, did you just see this? E-Rock, you just said something crazy. You just made me think about something. E-Rock and Hunter, check this out.
Mhm.
You know how they say, yo, why buy an Xbox when you could get it on PC? So you know what Microsoft did? They made the next Xbox like a PC. They ain't no excuse.
Mhm, mhm.
They ain't no excuse. They
And
finally
then I'm gonna
told
say
you,
this. And I'm gonna say this.
you want to play around?
People tripping off on
Give you
people
like
thinking that Microsoft is going to give up on
Microsoft's
the
crazy.
X. They're not giving up on the X. Phil came out and said this shit 180
No, they're
million
not.
times.
Absolutely.
He said we're not no one is getting left behind. So if you cannot afford, whatever the Series X is going to be, you still got the X. The X gonna probably be like $250 this Christmas.
Yeah, yeah,
Bundle with Game
yeah.
Pass. And a lot of people will pick up that X, and the people like the hardcore like us, you know what I'm saying, and go pick up the Series X. You went in both ways.
Right.
And the thing about
Yeah,
it,
yeah,
your
yeah.
X can already run 4K 60. The
Yeah,
Exactly.
yeah.
competitor don't. The Pro
Yeah.
can't do it. The
Right,
Pro
right,
just a little
right,
bit more.
right.
But
That
no
shit
one wants to talk about that.
will hang
Then
by the door. Like that shit.
Yeah, yeah.
Trash.
So they don't want
Microsoft is a software company. They figured out. They figured out with the Xbox One X, which we wasn't even paying attention to, except for you guys. The Xbox One X and the Xbox One S. They figured out the games are scalable. You can have the games run on the same
Yeah, right.
platform, but if
Well,
you got the more powerful
that's
console,
UWP.
you download
That's
those 4K or 8K assets.
yeah. But see,
Mm-hmm.
that's UWP for you. Now, I'm glad a developer came out yesterday. Yeah, I did have to go work yesterday. Yeah, came out yesterday. He said, and I'm glad people ran with it. He said, we start up all the way up. We trying to go clown, you know what I'm saying, Mount Kilimanjaro. We start
Mhm.
all the way up. But then it's nothing wrong for us scaling down on certain consoles or certain games. What you think PC game? PC
Yeah.
games don't start all the way up. It's your choice. It's what you want to do.
Yeah, based on the graphic cards you buy. Yeah, right.
Yeah, yeah. So why you think a console cannot do that? So this now somebody was like, man, that's bullshit. So I said, all right, on Xbox, if I play a certain game, that game knows if I'm on a Xbox One X, it knows if
Mhm.
I'm on Xbox One S, is it's gonna
Mhm.
download the HDR for me,
Mhm.
or if I'm on the
Mm-hmm.
Xbox Fat. It already
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
knows. Now, and then one dude came out today and killed him. I forgot. I wish I could give him credit. He killed him. He said Gears 5. Did the fat hold back Gears 5 on the X?
Nope.
No, it did not. And yet you
So
still
what's
could.
up with
It
this
still
talking
looked
about this generation ain't no exclusive? That man, they ain't trying to leave nobody behind. You take all
right.
your stuff with you on the Series X.
They're just trying to leave people where they feel comfortable. You
Yeah.
just want to play the game without all the bells and whistles. Yeah, go ahead. You can do that. If you want to play the best version, you still
You
got
get the
that
Series
option.
X.
And they also giving
Yeah.
us the option where you can trade in your existing console, put it towards the new console, and get some money for it and just pay the difference. That's one option. Then they're giving you the other option
Yeah.
that you can finance it. You can take it day one and you pay it monthly for 20, $30
Mhm.
and make it easy for you. And you could be playing the best
And
console
you can get it
version
from Dell
on the
or
best console.
Amazon now.
That's right. That's
You
what
can
I'm
get it from
saying. So
Dell
they're
and
giving you
Amazon.
those
And
options.
if you got an X already from them, you get to trade in
Hmm.
that X. And they
Right.
deduct it from that
And they
24
deduct it from
months.
what you already paid on the
And
X.
you
Yep.
don't have to pay nothing, no
Hmm.
Game Pass, nothing. That's all included for $24 a month.
Hey guys, and I'll make this quick. I'll make this real quick. Do y'all know that Microsoft is about to shut up the haters again and make them eat crow? I don't know if y'all know this or not because it's been under the radar, but I'm very, very excited about this game. It looks boring as fuck, but it's probably the most beautiful, boring game we've ever seen. Microsoft is coming out with the first truly cloud-based, ran off the cloud. Remember, the cloud wasn't real because
Right.
because
Right.
because Crackdown came out a little too soon before they could figure out what the cloud was. Well, Microsoft Flight
Hmm.
Simulator is completely ran off the cloud. Google it, look it up,
There's a
and
lot of
look
I
at
people
them
think
say that
graphics.
you got to have
game.
some hardcore X's, but
I heard that a lot of people say
Nope,
that
nope,
You're talking
nope,
about Flight
nope.
Simulator, right?
Flight
yeah,
Yeah,
Flight
Simulator.
Flight
I heard
Simulator.
Simulator.
the
Nope,
graphics on that is
nope.
crazy. They said look realistic. I heard.
The
Yeah, but see,
graphics, the
but
graphics
E-Rock,
are
the
beyond
cloud is already
anything.
real. E-Rock, the cloud is already real with, I don't know, I don't know if you got the chance
Yeah,
to try X Cloud. I
man.
remember I
Oh
was
yeah,
at
yeah,
E3.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Motherfuckers was
yeah.
calling me all
But you're
type
talking
of
about Flight
names.
Simulator, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Are
I'm,
you
Man,
I'm
gonna use the cloud?
Flight Simulator looks sick. Flight Simulator looks sick. What happens is,
Yeah. Yeah.
as you flying
You.
around, the cloud feeds in from the Azure servers. It feeds in
Yes.
telemetry
Yes.
from
Yeah.
Google and all of that shit. And like you can like fly over your house. You can fly over Manhattan. This shit is pushing
And you.
graphics
You.
we ain't never
And
seen before.
yeah,
E-Rock.
I heard.
E-Rock.
I gotta
It's
check.
running. It's running petabytes to run that shit.
Yeah, petabytes
Petabytes.
of
It's
data. Yeah.
retarded.
PlayStation ain't got nothing like that on their console, man.
No,
They
but
don't
see,
got no
no, it's
service
coming.
in
They
that
don't,
thing.
they don't need nothing like that. But
Yeah,
yeah,
but see
it's
that
dope,
game right there is the thing
beautiful.
about it is Microsoft. Remember they said the cloud wasn't real. Crackdown. What
Yeah.
happened to this and that? What I got caught,
Right.
man. We got caught at E3. All this, I even know this shit was going on because on E3, I really ain't on social media. We got too much shit going on. I send a picture and I'm going. I'm getting
Yeah,
the
you
hell
weren't
on.
paying attention to dummies while you were having a good time
Yeah, I ain't
in
getting the
that
damn
stage.
thing. So when
Exactly.
I happened to we sat down and we sitting down and you know what I'm saying we eating and drinking. I said, you know what's going on? They said that X Cloud ain't real. And we just got finished playing X Cloud. I said, you know
I
what?
saw your
We went
videos.
to the dude. I went to the dude and said, hey man, it's all right if we can film xCloud. I made sure I went on my phone and filmed that shit in 4K. So it can't be nothing.
Yeah.
So then I got it at home now. I got it on my phone now. This shit is incredible.
Wow.
You
Right.
know what I'm saying? This shit is
Yeah,
incredible.
because that
And I want
eliminates
to
Yo,
that eliminates
y'all ain't
that
see Phil?
eliminates that eliminates you having to buy a portable. That's the whole
yeah, I don't
reason
need a
why
portable.
xCloud is a big deal. You don't ever have to worry about doing the portable because you can do it on the go with
Yeah,
what you
see,
already
E-Rock, I
have.
don't know if you tried it yet, but E-Rock, it syncs wrong. I didn't play Gears campaign. Went to lunch and
Wow.
left off with the same thing I left off last night before I went to see. I'm talking about the same point. It logs
Wow.
into your account and everything. And I'm
Wow.
sitting there, people sitting there, what you doing?
Hmm.
Playing Halo. And then I show videos. I end up start capturing my screen, start showing people videos and shit.
Share real quick.
Like I'm playing it, I'm talking at the
That's
same time. So
crazy.
you can't say that I'm
That's
bullshit
crazy.
to public.
That's
They
crazy.
copy off a PlayStation now.
Right,
Bullshit.
Come
right,
on,
right.
man. That's why at the VGA Awards, man, my man Phil walked in there with Aaron Greenberg, peeling off the Gears of War shirt like this. Phil looked at them. Woo! Tony was shocked. Phil stepped up there, Series X. I'm all the way up. When Hellblade hit,
Oh, when you saw Jeff Keighley, you saw Jeff Keighley, because you know Jeff Keighley probably saw it like a good 15 seconds before we saw it. And Jeff
Mm.
looked at it distraught. Like,
yeah.
what?
Phil
Like,
stepped
he
up
looked
there like I'm
distraught.
all the way up. Show that.
Well,
And
that
he's sitting there
point,
like, y'all didn't tell us this. And then feels I ain't telling you shit 'cause you talk too much.
That's
well,
why they call
well,
that man knee pad Gilly.
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
well,
You
look,
don't do
look.
that shit to you don't do that shit to whoever that motherfucking name is.
Well,
Making that
100. It's like the point. It was like the point
yeah,
that Ghost was trying to bring up. You heard 100?
yeah.
100. You know
Yeah,
the
I'm here.
point that Ghost was trying to bring up, saying, "Oh, that they're saying now, oh, that we're not gonna have no games on X come out." There, we already have two games that we know for sure, which is
Hellblade
Hellblade 2
too.
and fucking Halo
Man,
Infinite, and
What are we
more than
talking about?
likely a new Fable, and more than likely a new Forza. That's four
I'm
games right there.
I'm not no, this ain't set in stone, but I'm gonna tell you it's gonna be Halo Infinite. That's you gotta think about the third party. You know, Christmas time third parties want to come out. So you don't want to get your baby to
Yep.
get caught up. So
Yep.
you're gonna get your Forza and when you show Forza, God mighty what it's called. And Forza Motorsport. You see what Forza 7 look like. God, what you gonna see what that look like? People gonna have to up their TV game.
They
Get off that motherfucking 1080p.
2 years off. I think.
Then you're gonna get Halo. You're gonna get Halo, and then I think I think it's them two, and it might be a new game. Say a game from
I mean,
whoever. I think it's gonna be only 3 games. You hit them with that, and then soon as February hit, you just start hitting them on them. Bam, 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 bam. You start hitting people. Cause think about it, third party is crowded. Around that August, September, November, December, that shit is jam packed. You see,
The other
Cyberpunk is
thing,
coming out in September now, so it's
yeah,
stuff that's
yeah,
jam packed.
because they want to show
they want
See,
show off their games.
Quantum Break
Yep.
didn't do good because they dropped it. It can't go head. That was a new IP, and you can't put no new IP head to head with no Call of Duty and no
Hell.
Battlefield.
Yeah.
You're taking an L,
Yeah.
bro. Not
You
even
can't
Well,
do
it's
it.
just like Sunset. That's what happened with Sunset.
I'm gonna be honest.
Yeah, you can't do it.
Battlefield learned this lesson too. You can't throw Battlefield with Call of Duty.
Plus,
No,
plus, remember,
third party
Sunset
gonna
came
eat it
out.
up.
Remember, also Sunset didn't come out. It didn't come. It came out when when the install base wasn't that big either on the Xbox. It was still kind of like low, right? So that's another factor. But you got to remember that. Also, keep in mind that right now we got big ass games that were first back. We got the Marvel game and the Cyberpunk. Why? Because they want to show it off on the best consoles, and they know the best consoles come out right around that time, and that's why they're doing it. Because when people see it on the
Look,
X,
Cyberpunk comes out in September right now.
yeah, and so does Marvel.
So you're
Same
gonna
thing.
see Cyberpunk.
Cyberpunk,
You're
a
gonna
lot
So
of
see
does
people,
Marvel.
You're
a
gonna
lot
see
of people
you're
gonna
gonna
buy
see
that game.
Cyberpunk in its glory on
Yep.
Xbox
Yeah.
because they own the marketing
That's
rights
what I'm
to it.
saying. Just like the Marvel Avengers game, the same way. When people see that running on the Series X, for example, as compared to a Xbox One X, right? They're going to see the difference because the disparity is going to be there because the Series X is like supposedly way more powerful than the X, right? It's about 4 times more powerful according to what they're saying in the specs, 12 teraflops versus 6, right? So and all the other things that come with it, like the baked in hardware for ray tracing, it's gonna do all these other things that was never because they said they want to make the console be just give the same freedom like a PC to the console gamers so they can have the same type of experience. Okay. And
Microsoft's gonna
that is why it's a big deal. This is kind of doing the same thing that they did with the release of 360. When the 360 came out, it was literally the most powerful hardware in the
Yeah.
business. Just like the 64 was the most powerful hardware when it came out at the time it did. It was even more powerful than PCs at that time. Okay? And if you don't believe me, go look at Digital Fuckery's Mushmouth video about Star Wars Shadows of the Empire, where he even talked about it that it was shitting on the PC version.
Those
The
PC
64.
games were ass back then.
Okay? That's if you think I'm bullshitting. Okay? So, because these guys believe motherfuckers like that because they praise their console before anything else. So again, it's all common sense. The fingers are pointing in the same direction. But if you want to put your blindfolds on and act like you don't see it, that's on you.
Hell,
Okay,
The
Oh man,
Dreamcast ran circles around. The Dreamcast
that's right.
ran circles around the
That's
PC.
another one.
But motherfuckers
That's
forget
another one.
that shit. They
That's
forget
another
that
one.
shit because Dreamcast is forgotten. I remember that launch. Them games was
Mhm.
ridiculous.
Yes, sir. When you saw
Yeah.
the
When I
Dreamcast, you were like, "Holy shit!" It was like
man,
night and
you
day.
saw NFL 2K for the first time.
That's
I saw
right.
this in the
wow.
mom and pop store. I said, I need
So
that.
Mhm. I need
I
that.
made sure. I swear to
so
God, I fucked around and got a degree. Ended up working at the goddamn airport to make sure I can get me that damn
Yeah,
machine.
the first
And
thing you
then when
said is, "I
Second
need
Hand
that."
came out, and my boy was like, "What you?" He said, "What you doing?" I said, "Man, I'm playing against somebody from." And I'm like, "Wait, I'm playing with somebody against the East Coast." He's like, "That's bull. That shit don't exist." I said, "Yes, it do. Watch this."
Right,
And I
right,
mean, he's like, "You ain't playing against the computer because we were so used to playing against the computer. I'm
right,
playing against a
right.
real human."
Yeah,
That
yeah.
that helped change the game, and Microsoft helped that to grow because it was running. Windows was at NT, or it was running one
Mm-hmm.
of them, CE or
Yeah,
NT,
NT.
one of them.
CE on the Dreamcast was CE.
CE,
Yeah.
yeah, it was running
Hmm.
that. Microsoft was
No.
help that shit, and that shit ran fluent.
Yeah.
We
Yeah,
love
no, dude,
playing. You playing
The
Quake.
Dreamcast
You
version,
playing
remember
Quake.
the Dreamcast version of Soul Calibur said it all because it was
Oh
more
man,
powerful and more impressive than the arcade version.
man, that
When you
thing was.
know that the arcade at that point was the place to go for better graphics always. And the consoles finally hit the point where it was replacing the arcade. That's why the arcades died. When motherfuckers saw that games can run more powerful than the arcade, like, oh fuck that, I just need a console. You see what I'm trying to say?
When I
You
saw
know,
Marvel Capcom 2, I started in the arcade first.
right.
We used to go to this racetrack, like the little
that's
go
dope.
kart spot.
Mm-hmm,
And
mm-hmm.
we walked in and I saw Marvel versus Capcom 2 for the first time. We didn't even get in the damn go kart. We played it. We even do. We did we sit there and we played that shit for about 6 hours. So they
Right,
kicked it.
right.
And we went during the week because usually it's crowded during the week. And, I was working at a school at the time, a T at a school, so we had summers and stuff off.
Shit.
I'm like, we can go during the week instead of the weekend. We ain't gonna never
Where's my
so
charger?
stuff. And then all of a sudden, I see that shit come on Dreamcast. Man, man. I'm mad at myself. I got that disc with it scratched up. I wish I'd known that disc was gonna cost so much, worth so much money from this day, because that was a straight arcade port on Dreamcast.
Yeah, yeah.
Guys,
It,
I'm gonna tell you like this. Think about this, guys. All the hate and E-Rock, you probably you can shine in on this too. All of the hate that's been going on, right, about Xbox has no games and they only, you know what I mean, who wants backwards compatibility. Now, do y'all remember when they were saying PlayStation 5 might have backwards compatibility, how all these people changed up and they was hyped for that? Right? Now they saying that forward, if they do get a Ghost of Tsushima, if they do get a Last of Us 2, and it runs into the PlayStation 5 as PlayStation 5 has forward compatibility games, like going into this generation. They hype with that, and in my mind, I'm like, they just doing the same shit over.
Yeah, yeah.
They doing the same thing over, like they got us this generation.
It's called the vertical slice, Ghost. That's what it's
Yeah,
called.
they doing us dirty because at the end of the day, it's like if you don't got no exclusives and you bringing those forward games over, they're gonna use that again. Oh, we got Last of Us 2. That's a fucking, I'm waiting because I'm gonna expose that shit. If they get backwards compatibility, I don't even want to hear only
The
say
thing
anything
about it,
about
I
that
don't know.
because
I
they
don't
didn't
know.
like when we had it.
Somebody sit there and told. I end up listening. I don't want to say blow up my brother, man, but he said something, and I ain't gonna say his name. But see, he was reported on Inside Gaming that he said that the PlayStation 5 gonna do 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. I'm like, for one, how they gonna do 3? Because that was built off a cell processor. If they
That's how you
go
know they
full
lying.
if they go pull that, if they try to do that, you just need to just get a regular PlayStation now. You need to give people all their money back because it's not worth it. Now, what I was quote unquote told, you're gonna go
Right. Their
to
service won't even matter anymore.
yeah. So my thing is what I was told was they're gonna do PlayStation 4 games. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But I remember PlayStation fans said, "Oh man, who want to play old games?"
Right.
Exactly.
Yep.
Exactly.
Yep.
Everything y'all say when we did, it was bad. Now it's
Mm-hmm.
good. Now you want to be good. No.
Oh nah. That's we gonna scratch that out the list. That's gonna get scratched out. This generation coming up. That's why I can't wait. I want to see how everything unfolds because
Yeah,
they
because you
got
know that,
a lot to say about it.
dude. I already see people like, oh my god, I can't wait. It's gonna have a 4K player. I can buy 4K movies. I'm like, are you fucking retarded? You could have done that this generation with an S.
Look, Ghost, the bullshit is already starting. You ain't seen the
Mm-hmm.
articles? I showed it to he about on Instagram, because that's where I be at
Mm-hmm.
mostly. I don't fuck with Twitter no more. The bullshit is already starting. Oh, from these
Mm-hmm.
articles of IGN and N4G and Texarkana. Well, the Xbox Series X is more powerful than the PS5, and why that should matter to you. Or the Xbox
Right.
Series X is the
Mm-hmm.
most powerful console ever, and why that's a bad thing. They already starting the bullshit, cuz.
Mm-hmm.
They
It's already starting.
damaging. Wow, they damaging. Wow, that
Well,
and
that's
like
how
Cause
they
they trying
they
to mess
fresh
up the
out.
launch. That's crazy.
is that the only way their channel's gonna stay relevant is they have to keep doing those clickbait pieces so that people still come to see their channel. That's why they're doing that.
So in 2013, 1080p mattered. Now that Xbox got the most powerful console, had the most powerful console the last 3 years, and obviously is going to have it next year. Power don't matter no more. You see what happens when you're a corporate slave. You see what happens when you a shill for the Japanese. Do you see what happens? This is what happens. You
Mm-hmm.
can't think for yourself no more. You can't analytically think, and you can't have a
For
realistic
yourself.
conversation when you
Yeah.
when you constantly shilling for a corporation, but y'all Xbox was supposed to be the corporate slaves. That's the
We were
crazy
the
thing
corporate
about it.
slaves, but yeah, we were thinking outside the box. Right.
Yeah.
Yep. You got Jay Dizzle. He put don't forget Jim Ryan of Sony said that shit too.
Mm-hmm. And sure enough, did. That's right.
And people got to understand, Jim Ryan pulled a coup d'etat. That motherfucker pulled a coup. He got all of them. He got Leighton out of there. You ain't heard nothing from Leighton. Nothing.
Mm-hmm.
That's
Mm-hmm.
what I
He
said.
got a gag. He got a
Sony,
gag order on
John
him.
Layton
He
left.
said
Michigan got
nothing.
dropped down. And also, guys, not I know you see how you said that, Hunter, but look how many developers out of their own studios
Where
left.
they going? And where they want to
They
go work?
left.
Yeah. Yeah.
Who
Microsoft.
the folk?
Started with
Microsoft.
Jack Tretton, then Andrew House, and then we had Andrew Boyce, then you had Kazarai, then you have fucking Sean Layden. Even Yoshida left. He's on the indie space now. God damn.
Exactly. He's chilling in the indie section. They said, yo, we got to debunk.
Then when Mike
It's a
Jabara
new
left,
group.
when Mike Jabara left to get a bigger position, become the leader of Blizzard, right? I think it was Blizzard.
Yeah. He the head of Blizzard.
Everybody's like, "Oh my God, Mike Jabara left," because when Microsoft is going to die. I'm like, "Oh God, stop it! You guys,
Yeah,
And
that's
what he say?
every-
He said that like, man, I'm always love Microsoft. Why would a person gets a better position? People, I didn't know. I thought you wanted to grow. I didn't know you wanted to be stale.
mm-hmm.
And if that money is, man, Truddy, money talks and bullshit walks. Oh, you
Hmm.
gonna get this for this? Okay,
You're
you
right.
should be happy. And he said, man, I won't. He said a quote the other day, and they twisted it, and he checked motherfuckers.
Yes, he did. You know what was funny though, 100? You know what was funny when he said that Uncharted was kind of boring. I
Yeah.
was laughing.
But
He said
he
that to
don't
on
have
Twitter,
no little
E-Rock.
thing about it was he don't have anything about it. Well, I said thing about it was he mostly played on PC anyway. So why y'all tripping? He mostly
He played
played
it on
on
PSN now
PC
on PC, I
goddamn
bet.
way. But he'll sit there. Like I said, I met Mikey, not this E3, but the last E3. Cool dude. Cool dude.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
If y'all
These
been
dudes
watching
are
the
just like
media,
me and you. They just like me and you and all this other stuff. I just be shocked who they know, who a lot of us is. And that's why we telling people quit looking at your subscriber count and all that other stuff. If you got a voice, your voice carries.
exactly,
And you don't never
exactly.
Yo,
know.
guys,
I think that was one way.
y'all ain't hear your emails? It went like this. They on the loose, bro. You know we asked out. You know they're gonna be on us tomorrow. Did you hear what
Mhm.
Ghost said? Did you hear what Hunter said? Did you hear what
Yeah.
E-Rock said
No,
to
I'm
E-Rock?
good. But I'm
Them
be war
guys is
tomorrow.
crazy. They
I be
delusional.
off.
But guys,
PlayStation spinning.
I really think Microsoft. I've been watching this closely the last couple of weeks and seeing
Hmm.
how the media is going to spin this. And I know Hebot's been watching it too and looking at the articles. Me personally, I don't know what goes on behind research and development. I didn't know any of the research and development behind the Xbox One X or the Xbox One or the PlayStation 4. The only R&D I knew about was the Xbox 360 Xenon and the cell processor. So it was a few people like this writer named Dean Takahashi who knew that the cell processor and the Xenon was the same damn thing, no matter what Sony was saying or their audience was saying, and that's why the 360 games was better. But this
Hmm.
time
Hmm.
with the Xbox One Series X, I think Microsoft really caught Sony like unawares because had they not been caught unawares, Sony would have already came out with their official numbers saying that their box was more powerful. They would have already did that. They haven't done that yet. I
Yeah.
don't think anybody, including us Xbox, was expecting that while Sony was busy doing backflips about sales and patting themselves on the back about Spider-Man, can it play Spider-Man? God of War.
Hmm.
Microsoft was investing billions into Silicon. Nobody saw this shit coming. Not even Richard Ledbetter at Digital Foundry. That
Hmm.
chip is so fucking huge. That's why that
Hmm.
needs that big ass fan. Onboard ray tracing. Like this shit is nuts, man. Who puts 12 teraflops on a fucking console? What
Hmm.
what the hell is going on here? Like this,
Hmm.
I think that Microsoft caught Sony with their draws down because Sony was at the finish line playing air guitar and dancing. Yeah, we beat Microsoft in console sales. And Microsoft
Hmm.
had invested billions in silicon, not Ryzen
Hmm.
chips and off the market PC parts. They was building a custom built console. Yo,
Hmm.
man, I'm really shocked that Microsoft went all in with this shit.
Yo,
Hmm. Well,
E-Rock, I ain't gonna lie. Mr. Keeman just brought up a good point. Power does matter to the ponies. They post fake PS5 specs every day. You already know that.
Wow,
The power matters to them for
yeah.
this,
you're joking.
but they're gonna front. Because remember, if we get the power, it's gonna be about the games.
Right, right,
We
Mhm.
right,
ain't showing no games. That's what I hate the deflection and stop. That's why I say stop with the bullshit. Nobody really know about the specs, but every
Mr. King, but let me
day
tell
they
you,
bring it up. They
yeah,
bring
no,
it up
it's true.
every
He's
day.
right.
they posted
That
fake
somebody
specs.
said
Every
somebody
day,
said
man.
like 2 days ago that the PS5 is gonna be 18 teraflops.
I heard 76, some shit like that.
Wow,
Yeah, they
wow.
want it to be super duper. But I'm telling you, they mad that, if we do get the power, they mad that we stumping on them like this.
Oh
That's
god.
Are we bumping with them good specs? The graphics gonna look sick. Our multiplayer games gonna be fire. We gonna be playing, looking at them like,
Hmm.
and you know what? They gonna be playing that. Now you know the shoes on the other foot, man. I can't. Yo, if we get the power now, the multiplat's gonna look better. The duties and all that. I want to see what
Mhm.
Digital Foundry. I want to see what IGN and them got to say about the grass, about the Call of Duty. It looks better here. You know when they was both 720p, and they got to update the next day. They actually said the Call of Duty
Yeah,
looked
it
better
was wrong.
on
It was
Xbox.
wrong
It was wrong.
information.
Like this is how you catch these fakes and
Hmm.
frauds. You know what I mean? Like, and I'm just glad, man. I just hope Microsoft don't suffer the same fate that they got this generation right
Nah,
here,
nah, nah.
because I'm
They
a
ain't
little
gonna happen
nervous
again.
that the media
Listen,
is
that's why
trying to do
Phil
the
said you'll
same
never
thing.
catch us off guard ever again with the most
Yeah,
weakest
yeah, man.
console. That's why he said that.
I think I
It's
think
never gonna happen.
I think they caught Sony off guard, like you just said, and I think Sony doesn't have nothing to show, and they don't want. They're gonna undercut the price. I'm telling you, Microsoft should keep the price kind of close range, because right now the X is actually $500. They need to make this new one 500, drop the X to like 350, bro, and they will kill it. Put the S 200 all day. It's over.
Yeah,
Sale
there was a day not too
all
long
day.
ago they sold the X for two. It was 275, and it came with three games. The X, like so, they'll do the sales. That's not
That's what
even.
they
That's
gotta
even
do,
with that
man.
cost.
And remember, it's a 4K console at the end of the day. It's not like PlayStation,
That does real
PlayStation
4K,
Pro.
right?
Yeah,
Right.
1440p. You understand?
With the
So,
big games, not the indie small
so
title.
we already experienced, guys. Everybody in this room, they got an X, experience 4K at least. PlayStation
Hmm.
guys really ain't experienced that. They gotta wait for this PlayStation 5, you feel me? So they can be like, yeah, we got a native now. You know what I mean? Like,
Hmm.
so I just laugh
Hmm.
at these extremists. And before we go, guys, because it's kind of late, I gotta get to work. It's 11
Yeah,
o'clock.
yeah.
I push my limits, guys. As as I say, like always, guys, let everybody know where they can find y'all. E-Rock, go ahead, do your thing, my
Oh
brother.
yeah, hey, this is Erock X, man. You can find me on YouTube on the Erock X channel. Like the channel, subscribe. It's also Erock X on Instagram. I talk about a lot of things, movies, gaming, whatever. And as always, bye bye.
That's what's up, man. That's my bro E-Rock. I'm glad he's back, man. Hopefully, E-Rock, you stop by, man. You know?
No doubt,
And rock out with us, man. He
no
about
doubt.
to know where they can find you, my brother.
Pretty much everywhere, like I said, where they're lashing people, throwing stones. Even though I play the game now, like 100 was telling me from a while back, I come in there, do drive-bys, get people mad, and then leave. I leave them talking to themselves. That shit is funny. But no, no, all seriousness, just, you can find me on Xbox Live, PSN, obviously Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube. He bought 8, and that's where you'll find me.
Well, guys, man, thank you for stopping by and listening to us. I had a great time with my brothers. E-Rock,
Where's 100? Where's 100? I don't
100,
see him.
they got him, bro. As soon as he said
Oh, they got
The
him.
the,
they
drink- the
got my
drink,
boy.
the Hennessy kicked in. He out of here.
What?
Yo, the Hennessy kicked in.
That's crazy, bro.
That's funny. That's funny.
Yeah, it is. And all I
E-Rock
gotta say
always
is, man,
never fails to entertain E-Rock. It's stupid.
you can catch me on Xbox, man. Go
Mhm.
try to 730. If you want, subscribe to my channel. Go try to 730. Also subscribe to
Yes, sir.
E-Rock's channels, man. These are good brothers. These are real down to earth Xbox guys. We don't sugarcoat it. We keep it real. You can also find me on Mixer. Go try to 730. And like I always say, man, God bless y'all, man. And remember, the Xbox is the best box, bro.
Mhm. Yeah.
Tony's out there, man. We coming for y'all, bro. Peace.
Peace out, guys. Have a good night.
All right, guys.